Like my story?
No, not your story, a story. Since you can't keep your mouth shut long enough for me to read my paper, tell me a story.
I don't think I know any stories.
You don't know any stories?
No.
All right, I'll tell you a story. This is a newspaper, right? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains me. You won't let me read it. So you entertain me with your bullshit. Tell me a story right now. Go.
What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Rambo Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin, where the all fights start. You know it. Let's get it. I hope y'all hear me loud and clear. I was messing with the settings once again yesterday because I was on the boxing voice and I gotta tell you, man, it was an experience, I would say, to the least. I thought I was gonna get shit from like my prediction or something, or from the fans and stuff. It was the opposite. But anyway, fight fans, thank you for tuning in here at another edition here at Round One Sports TV. We are going to be recapping the Xander Zayas, the Ron Boots and his fight. And before we get anything started, I gotta eat my crow first. We gotta eat it. Gotta get it in. All right. But I want to share with you guys my experience, what how overall the night, the atmosphere was. I put up a lot of post pictures. I try to do the best I can with my cell phone. Like I said, in this fight right here, I went as a fan. I bought a ticket. I did not have credentials to cover the fight. I believe most of you are aware of this. If you've been following me here, I've always been transparent about everything I do and how I do it. And throughout all that, I still did pretty damn good. I had it a wonderful time. So let's kick off this episode and let's get right to it. I'm not sure how I feel about that, about the sound, how loud it is. I went back and I checked the sound. Let me know if my audio is low or if my mic is low. Let me know. I turned it up a little bit. All right. All right. So, fight fans, as you're tuning in and you come into the show, let me know if everything sounds good, guys. Please. So, overall, my experience leading into the Jerron Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas fight card um, is as such. Like you guys know, if you've been following me here at Round One Sports Talk since the fight was announced, I was uh, straightforward, and I shared with you what Xander represented for me as a Puerto Rican man in boxing and why I watch boxing. There's a part of me that watches boxing for legacy. There's another part of me that watches boxing for experience. How did he do that? How did he knock out that guy? I love fighting. I like the ins and outs, and the combat and knockouts never get old. So, with that being said, those are some of the reasons why I watch and I choose to cover boxing. And I got into this to do this show, Round One Sports Talk, so that I can articulate and talk with fans about boxing so that I can learn more. I don't claim to know it all. I'm not always right, but This is what I chose to do. So I went to the Barclays Center to watch Xander Zayas versus Jerron Boots Ennis. And in this fight right here, I had Xander. I told my fans, don't follow me on this fight right here for what Xander represent. As far as if you wanted an inside in debt, like me to break down a regular fight and you're gonna put money on it and everything, I told you that this fight right here, I'm in it, win, lose, or draw. I'm gonna back our guy because for me, Xander deserved and has proven himself to be one of the top Puerto Rican fighters. So he got my support on backing him. I thought I was very clear about that. Very clear that if in any other case, I would have took Joran Boots Ennis because I knew the uphill battle of what Xander just did. But it was too late. He was there. This is what happened. He took the fight. So I go to the Barclays Center and right away, I went to the weigh-in and the atmosphere and the crowds were big. You can tell that this fight right here was a big fight. It wasn't a super fight where that, you know, every seat in the house was packed, but it was a mega fight. And the fight card itself did not let us down. It did not let us down. Now I met all the fighters. I met Ben Whitaker. I met Vargas. I met Xander Zayas. I met Jerron Boots Ennis. Um, I met Fernando Vargas, which was the height of it all for me. To see Fernando Vargas, the father, he's my era. That's my era. Man, when I saw him, I was like, "Oh shit!" right, right. I was like, "Son, move out the way. You're good. This is your era now. I'll see a lot of you." But that, my friends, right there, that is a legend right there. What he did at his age, the dad, man, that guy can fight. I saw him. I was like, "Oh shit, that's Fernando Vargas." So I mean, I saw Xander and I was like, "Oh shit, Xander," but it wasn't like Fernando Vargas. No, it wasn't. Nah, nah. Fernando's my era. So like I grew up watching guys like that. I saw him fight Felix Trinidad. So uh and I saw Michaela Mayer. Michaela Mayer, shout out to Michaela Mayer. Man, that lady's tall. She's tall as hell. I was looking up at her like, damn, she's a lot prettier, like real well, like not like when you see them on camera, she's pretty. I'm like, man, I bet. But when you meet them, they got all that, like, and but when I met her, I was like, oh, she held up good. I was like, nice, right? Yo, she got long legs. And let me stop because my wife would beat me up. You know what I mean? No, 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 no. I'm just, come on, man. We can be men about this, right? You don't gotta like lust over a woman. I'm just saying that she's a pretty lady. That's it. So, but she took the time out and talked to me about I think Jahai Tucker, right? And she was saying that his opportunities and there was a lot of opportunity there and he was missing and he's better than that. She knows he's better than that and that he could have, he was a little so, it's just boxers at their jobs, critiquing other employees at their jobs. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And she said nothing wrong. Be like, okay, yeah, I'm a better fighter. Yup. Next time I'm gonna fix that. Boom, bam. That's all he had to do. That's all he has to do, like that. Take it with a grain of salt. I wish most boxers did would do something like that, but you know, it is what it is. So I met a lot of people there. And shout out to all the fans, all the new fans I met. My man hit me up. The dude, we was in the smoke room in the back. I seen your message. What's up, champ? How you doing? I hope you see this video right here. You know what I'm saying? Salute, brother. My apologies for not going down and reading and remembering everyone's name that I met. I was a little, you know what I'm saying? I was drinking a couple of those, you know? So, but, you know, always kept a cool head, you know? We was back, we was blazing and shit. Shannon Briggs was back there. Um, and it was a really good night. I call Shasi Foster's coming in the side entrance because there's these side entrances, right? Where you go out to smoke, and we was smoking bud out there and shit, right? So I think Oshaki said, I ain't gonna go in through the front entrance because you know they might have mobbed him or whatever, or shit like that. So I caught him coming in the side one. And I said, oh shit, there's Oshaki, right? He kept saying the 135-pound champion. He's the 130 now, but he did win that 135 interim champion against Stephen Kubo Fulton. That was a 135. I think he vacated it, but yeah, at one point in time, he was the 135 interim champion for the WBC. He beat Stephen Kubo Fulton for it. Because later I went back and I watched the video and I said, yo, Ed, you kept saying he's the 130 right now. But he did at that 135 at one point in time. So I wasn't wrong. You know what I mean? But I was, you know, I might never not be correct like in current time, but at one point in time he did have it. So okay, you know what I'm saying? That way I won't feel so bad about it. So yeah, man. I'm trying to think back of all the experiences I had. And shout out to my brother, my little brother, Matthew. Yo, he held the camera for me. Uh you know, I was like, "Yo, come to this fight with me, man." And he bought tickets that day, him and his dad. We all came out there and shit. And like, I was thankful for that, man, because I made a memory with my brother, my little brother and shit. And it was cool. It was cool. You know what I mean? They got me for my bud at the metal detector. I went out like a rookie. Listen, dudes was like, yo, Ed, you gotta know how to smuggle things. I'm with my little brother, bro, right? You gotta understand, like, I'm not sure if my little brother had a traffic ticket. Like, he's a man's man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you don't want to be that cousin or somebody you take somewhere and they always acting up or they doing something, right? Like, say you go to a store with your boy and shit, right? Y'all shopping and he starts stealing shit. Bro, I gotta walk away from you. What are you doing? Like, yo, chill, man. Like that shit we did when we was kids. Like, don't embarrass me like that type shit, right? So I was trying to be, you know, I know how to do shit, bro. And I got caught slipping. I got caught slipping. Yeah, I did. I got caught slipping. That was on me. I put my weed in my cigarette pack. Like, I was like, what a rookie mistake. Like, what are you doing? And I got bagged. And she was like, oh, you can't have this, but I'm gonna throw this in my pocket, right, bro? And she threw it in the pocket because my brother he taking all the shit out of his shit. They let me through. I was like, man, I had a choice. I was like, get my bud. I'm gonna go put it in the car, but it was too many people in line. I was like, take that shit. So I went through, came back around like this, and I looked in the bucket. You know, I'm trying to make a move, right? I'll do it right there, right in front of everybody. As long as they got they, come on, let me get that, right? So, I looked, that shit wasn't in there. So I told her what kind it was, the bud. I was like, well, if you're gonna smoke it, man, it's OG Kush, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Enjoy. Thank you. You're welcome. You know what I'm saying? I caught slipping. So then you know, we get in and everything, and the knockouts just start happening. I mean, they just start happening, people. I think the only one I saw that I can remember in the night, right? Ever since everything hasn't even slowed down. I try to come home, take a break, rest. I went on TBV at least because I don't go live on my show Mondays. You guys know that because I go on TVV on Mondays. So, and I told you I'll be on the first thing in the morning on my show, which I start on Tuesdays. So usually, typically, but sometimes I'll try to do some couple Mondays here and there, to get bring it in and shit, because I can't stop talking boxing and shit, right? So I go. Where was I? Where was I? Here we go. Where was I? Shit, I'm losing my train of thought here. Man, I had a lot of fun. Uh so I remember the knockouts happening. I think Jahai Tucker was the only one that went the distance that I can remember. It was just like boom, knockout, boom, knockout, boom, knockout. And I was like, damn. So there was a lot of time where there in between fights for the next fight to start, people started getting up, walking around, and I was just walking around. I was like, well, might as well buy another $34 drink. These drinks was outrageous. Yo, by my fifth drink, I was already taking out of my daughter's college fund. Like, yo, fuck, bro. These prices is ridiculous. So I'm drinking, bam, 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 right? So the next fight comes out, second round, boom, knockout, we back up. Second round, boom, knockout, we back up, right? Everybody in the crowd, we just started smoking in the crowd. There was too many people in the smoking room. We couldn't. It's not enough. We couldn't smoke in the hallway. The bathroom was going crazy. The security was running in the bathroom. People said, "Fuck it." They started lining up in the stands. I don't know if y'all noticed this or saw the smoke in the home and TV or whatever they said it, because I still haven't seen the fight with volume yet. I haven't did that yet. So, yo, I'm telling you, there was dudes smoking to my left, to my right, behind me. Yo, shout out to the dude, brother that was sitting behind me. Yo, you're a lucky man. You're a lucky man. That lady, that girl you was with, bro, you was a lucky man, my man. Congratulations. And I mean that because competitively, she was going for Xander. And she was like a fan. And he was going for Jerome Tennis. And it was funny to hear them, right? And but he was cheering, he was talking his shit, but respectfully. I was talking mine respectfully. And when Duran Boots Ennis dropped Xander in the first round, bro, that place went crazy. That dude threw his food in the air. That shit came, yo, that shit, all of it, it hit the pat pat all on the steps. I was like that, fucking everybody, bro. Brothers was talking shit. Because leading into the fight, as both fighters were making their entrance, Data Kiss shit, bro. Come on, man. Right? When both fighters made their entrance, the tension in the building was thick. The tension, it was just like, who's gonna win? Who's gonna do what? Right? When Jerron Boots Ennis dropped him, it was like the brothers took a big breath, and what they knew and what they thought, their fighter gave them that energy, and they let go. The brothers let go. They was like, they'll fucking food everything. Let me tell you something. I was like, fuck. Reality had set in at that moment for me. I knew right there it was too much. But my fighting spirit didn't count Xander out of the fight. I said, damn, Xander. I said, you gotta do something. Come on, get up. So Xander gets up, takes the knee, and utilizes the 8 count, the entire 8 count. He's looking up at the guy. It's not like any of the knockdowns, he just jumped up. No, every knockdown, He took the knee, used the 8 count, got up. Okay. He goes on. They start fighting. Let me tell you something. That third round was special. Yeah, yeah, it was. Because that third round said a lot. That third round showed Xander's warrior spirit, his grit, his the fact that he was there to win. He didn't get knocked down and fall back in a high guard, start going backwards. Xander kept going forward. We're going to talk about the style strategies that these both fighters implement and why the fight looked like this. We're going to talk about that. But first, let me just explain a couple things. The atmosphere and the build to the fight. Then we'll break down the fight itself. So when Xander clipped him with that uppercut and followed through with that right, boom, boom, and then hit him with the check hook, yo, the building went crazy. The flags were back out like this. It was crazy. Listen, I turned around, I looked at dude's face. It was priceless. He was like this, like that. Vander sat them all down. Every one of them, all the fans, all the Toronto tennis fans, he sat them all down. Yo, yo, we got up. We was like, we got ourselves a fight. We got ourselves a motherfucking fight. Now, this is the third round now, right? The fight didn't play out. We didn't know the outcome of the fight at that point, right? So they was talking shit when Xander went down. So we was talking shit when Xander hurt him. Man, I wanted Xander to put him down, man. I wanted Xander to put him down. If Xander got to put him down, man, it would have been even better, right? And I think it would have boosted Xander's morale because he was taking a lot of big shots. We're going to talk about that. So when that happened, it gave us a moment. And I mean a moment. Xander took over the rest of the fight after that. He kept hitting him with these uppercuts and these shots. And he couldn't miss because Xander wasn't moving his head. So then Xander goes down again and he takes another knee. He utilizes the 8 count, waits into it, gets up. When he got up that first time, I knew he was badly hurt. He staggered. He had Bambi legs. So from the first knockdown, that took a lot out of him. And I just want to point that out because that's why even by the third round, man, when Xander had him hurt, he still was so hurt and his legs weren't underneath him that he couldn't move like he typically moves. That first knockdown was crucial in the fight. Took Xander's legs away. It took his legs right from underneath him. So Xander opted in the inside. So now let's talk about the strategy. Let's talk about why Xander didn't box off the back foot. Why didn't he use his jab like that? Why didn't he box him like Abbas Baru and use his feet? And how did Jaron Boots Ennis basically walk him down? Jaron Boots Ennis went right to him, straight to him. Okay, this is why I believe the fight looked the way it looked. Okay, had Xander went out there and fought off the back foot and used his legs and tried to use the jab and stay long, he would have got picked apart by Jaron Boots Ennis. He wouldn't have been able to survive that. It would have just been a longer ass whooping. That's it. That's all that would have been. Xander is not faster than Jaron Boots Ennis. If he would have chose to fight long and tall, he wasn't going to beat Jaron Boots Ennis. Xander Zayas's greatest chance in this fight was to get close to him and to hit him like he clipped him in the third round. The only was, I don't think he expected getting his legs taken from him in the first round. The plan would have probably been more effective had he not taken so many punches, had he moved his head a bit more on the inside. He opted to just absorb and on the high guard all the Boots and his punches. He literally was a sitting target, Xander. Call it for what it is. That's exactly what happened. But when I was watching it and I'm watching my own phone from when I'm watching, I'm on the bus. I filmed the fight with my on my phone. So I'm zooming in and I'm watching it. And I'm saying to myself, yeah, bro, that's what happened. He took his legs in that first round. When Xander got up, he was on Bambi legs. Remember when Anthony Joshua got clipped by the Destroyer Ruiz? Remember when he got clipped? He Andy Ruiz in that first knockdown took AJ's legs. His legs were never underneath him the rest of the fight. That is exactly what happened to Xander. So he didn't have that bounce. He couldn't move because and then he would stumble. And then it would give Jerron Boots Ennis the information he needed. Oh yeah, your legs are not underneath you. I'm gonna pressure you. So in order to not let Jerron Boots Ennis pick up on the fact, yo, I ain't got no legs, he had to stand there. And he what he used was subtle movement like this, like this, step like this. But what he couldn't do was bounce like this. That's what he couldn't do. So he didn't want to let Ron Lieutenants know that. So plus the game plan was to get close. Now he didn't have he couldn't move like this, so he gets dropped again. He utilizes the standing 8 count. Now, the last knockdown and what comes into effect and what comes into play. And I want to be very clear on this. I went on the Boxing Voice and I had a lot of dudes call in, even Puerto Rican dudes, straight like shitting on Xander and making this Puerto Rican knee thing like real or something, right? And saying that Xander quit, AB was on, he was Xander quit, blah blah blah. Okay, a lot of these people weren't at the fight, right? And sometimes they can take what another boxer says or something, and he was wrong. They go back and report it and say, yeah, Xander quit in the fight. He did the Puerto Rican knee. Both of those are not true. And I'm going to tell you why. I was there. I was in the fight. I saw what happened. When Xander got dropped, last time he got dropped, he went down on his knee and looked up and was utilizing the 8 count. Ravi Doc was counting in front of him. Go back and watch it. We'll pull it up right now together. In fact, I'll do that. Right after this, I'm going to pull it up. We're going to watch it together. Even though they're going to fucking copyright me, I'm still doing it. For educational purposes, I'm going to play the knockdown, the last knockdown. I was there live. I saw what the camera did not show. The camera did not show Xander's corner, but I was there, front and center, row 17. I was in row 17, seat 3. Okay? And when the ref started counting that Xander was on the knee, utilizing the 8 count, that he was going to stand up, right? Because he's looking at him. Let's play the rest of the before the knockdown. The round before that, they threatened to stop the fight. Xander was taking a lot of damage. The referee walked up to Xander's corner and told him, you got to show me something. You can't keep taking punches. I'll stop this fight. I'm going to stop the fight. Xander's coach told him, if you get hurt, I'm going to stop the fight, Xander. Xander, I'm giving you another round. Xander knew he was getting another round from the referee and his coach. He went and got dropped in the round. When Xander got dropped, he went to the knee, looked up, started taking the 8 count. When the referee turned around and looked to Xander's corner, his coach waved the fight off. His coach said, like that. And then Xander looked at his coach and went, he understood that his coach told him, if you go down again, Xander, I'm stopping this fight. And Xander, when he looked at them, everybody said he looked at the ref and he went like that to call it quits. No. What Xander was doing was acknowledging that his coach called the fight. And people were like, well, he didn't contest it. So would it have made you feel any better if Xander Zayas jumped up and argued with his coach? Smashed his hands on the, no, don't stop the fight. Or did he respect the decision his coach made? So the Puerto Rican knee that they're claiming Xander took, he just got caught in the act of doing the 8 count. Like he did the first time he got knocked out, like he did the second time he got knocked out in the exact same fight. He took the knee, used the whole 8 count, then stood up. When he got knocked down the final time, he was utilizing the 8 count, and his coach called the fight. Xander didn't quit, and he didn't take no Puerto Rican knee. I was there. Go watch. I'm telling you, Xander's coach called the fight. And then one of the oddest things happened because I'm there. I heard it over when the guy said it. He said the ring official called the halt to the action. So I'm not sure if they were on like who called it at the time, but that's when his coach went like that. And then the ref went like that and then tapped Xander on the shoulder. Your corner called in, they threw the towel, Xander, pop, and he tapped him on the shoulder. So Xander didn't quit. He was utilizing the 8 count and he was going to try to stay in the fight, but they told him, Xander, you took too much damage. His coach told him, you get hurt anymore, I'm calling the fight, Xander. Xander said, okay, got up. He got dropped. His coach called the fight. Xander didn't quit. And he didn't take no Puerto Rican knee because the Puerto Rican knee would entail that you quit while on your knee or you got knocked out and didn't stand up while on your knee. Xander just got caught in the moment of utilizing the 8 count and his coach called the fight. That was the position he was in. Same position he was in the first time he got knocked down, the second time he got knocked down. He just got caught in the position. That's it. He didn't quit in the position. He didn't give up in the position. And nothing. They stopped the fight. So you can see when people are misled and the false narratives and the lies that they try to spew on fighters just to get a laugh. People don't wait no more for the facts. And even if you bring them the facts, they're still going to insist. No, that's a Puerto Rican. Just for what? For what? To think that you're putting down somebody and two warriors that went in there and fought, two undefeated fighters? Have at it. Have at it. You know, a lot of things in this fight I was confused about. I thought that I was very transparent on why I was picking Xander on this fight. I thought I was very transparent, but apparently some people, round one, you're a liar. Huh? Bro, I was on Ness's Boxing Voice, and at the beginning of the show, I think it was like timestamp 1 hour or whatever on his show. It's like 1 hour and something, right? I think the timestamp when he calls me a liar is 3 hours and 9 minutes. He calls me a liar on the show, but he tells me that, And then he tells me that I told him that I had a Puerto Rican flag wrapped around my neck, and I went there to, I was in talking to Michaela Mayer, and I had the Puerto Rican flag on my neck and shit, and I was telling him that, and he was like, "Bro, nasty work. You're there covering the fight, and you got a Puerto Rican flag. You're fucking biased." And he started saying, and I was truly taken back by that, like really taken back, and I knew there right then in that moment that it made me feel like Ness was no longer like, like with me. Like he was trying to like destroy my character, and I don't know why he's doing it, right? But I- if he like try to say that I said that I was covering the fights with credentials and that I have a Spanish flag on and that's not right and that that's being biased and you can't show up to a media. Did any of the other camera people have Spanish flags? And he went on and on and on about how I was wearing the Spanish flag, the Puerto Rican flag, and that it was disrespectful and that it made me biased and that for all Latin fighters that I'm a biased person. And at that moment right there, I knew he was gonna say or do anything. He's just no longer because and the reason why I say this is because I have texts. I don't want to put up Ness's phone number or anything, but I'll find a way to screenshot him and I'll block his number and I'll put up all our text messages. This is why this bothered me so much. And I'm gonna share this because I have to now. I feel like he really like I don't know why he did that. I have text message from me and Ness. I'm obligated to show this. Forgive me, my brother, but um, you can't talk about something and not back it up. Like it's just, it's just not good. It's just bad. Like you gotta show proof. You know what I'm saying? Just don't say shit. You gotta prove it. And since Ness has the very same messages that I have, of course he can come out and contest it, right? Like say I like delete a message or something, or I try to like fool around with something. Ness got the fucking messages on his phone. He'll fucking check me on that. You put on one, you're fucking lying. But that would be really stupid for a person to do, right? Okay. So in our text messages, I reached out to Ness and I fucked up. I was a couple days late from signing the credentials to get media access for the Xander Zayas fight. So they closed it. So I couldn't get in. I was like 48 hours too late. So I reached out to Ness and I asked him, "Yo, Ness, you think I could use like you did last time? Like, let me go under the boxing voice and use your credentials." So Ness asks me on the thing, have you ever covered a fight like that in New York? Have you ever done any of this stuff? And we go back and forth on the messages. Ness was the one that sent me to New York for the Tank Davis Jake Paul. So I went and I reached out to him because I was locked out on the zone. I couldn't get credentials. So I went to the next best thing, Ness. So I got all our text messages and I'm telling him I can't get credentials. He knew this. I was asking him to help me with credentials. I have our text messages. Ness, look, I'll at least read it. The messages that we had, I can at least do that. I don't want to fuck up and put somebody's and then oh shit like his name or so. I don't know because I'm not all that great savvy with this shit, right? But I should have no problem at least reading the messages, right? You know, I can read the messages, right? That's not being a dick, right? Or is that being a dick and I'm not realizing it? Like, oh, you shared our text messages over the but this has to do with what you called me a liar about. And you started saying that I was biased walking around with a flag when you knew I didn't have media credentials. At the beginning of your show, I said I was watching the other guys do it and I was learning. Then when I said that to him, he goes, "Oh yeah, you did say that." But oh yeah, you don't remember I was asking you for credentials? And you had to take a shot at me like that. You had to be like, you biased motherfucker. You're in there and you went into an entire monologue about how biased that is for me wearing my flag while covering the fight. When a few days before the fight, I was asking you for credentials because you knew I didn't have none. Why would you put me down in a situation you knew I wasn't in? I didn't understand that. I was confused. I was like sitting there. I was like, "The fuck is going on here?" Yo, I was confused, bro. And then it was like, "You're biased because you're wearing a Puerto Rican." I was like, "What? Don't ever in your life let someone box you in from being prideful or showing support." I was being prideful and showing support. And I was very transparent about that. Yet they try to make me feel like because I wore that flag, I'm biased towards every Puerto Rican boxer. You guys know me, bro. It's not about race. It's not about skin color. It's about skill. Xander just represented the top of the Puerto Rican fighters. That's it. Y'all know I didn't take Edgar Berlanga. Y'all know I don't take a lot of these Latin fighters, some of these Puerto Rican. Y'all know. This dude's gonna whoop his ass. I'm gonna call it like I see it. Xander was at the top of the food chain. He's on a 1%. He was leading the way. That's different. Came into it as a fan. Thought I was very explicit about that. Real transparent. My guy got his ass whooped. And Xander, he had a moment in the third round, man. And let me tell you something right now. Sometimes fans, a guy loses, they throw him away. Oh, he wasn't shit. He wasn't that. For me to use Xander, you're the shit. I can't wait to see your next fight. You are a young man. I think your coach saved you from unnecessary damage. Hack it up. You're 23 years old. Add 10 years to 23 is 33. He'll still probably be fighting. You got plenty of time with that young man. He dared to be great, and he came up short. After the fight, a lot of fighters and a lot of fans have a lot to say, and I'm going to read all your chats and I'm going to read all your stuff. And I see y'all in here. Like, we going to be talking in a second, right? Hey, and look, guys, where was I? Where was I? I lost my train of thought there for a second. A lot of people had a lot to say about this fight, right? And look, I think that Xander did pretty good. I think for the fact that Karen went 24 rounds with Jaron Boots doesn't make Karen a better fighter than Xander. It just made that Karen chose to survive. How many actual rounds did Karen win in those 24 rounds? Xander just went right to it with Jaron Boots Xander said, if I'm going to win, I'm going to go for it. Xander and Boots stepped on the gas. They didn't waste any time. That fight, when people go back and watch that fight, they might appreciate it a bit more. Although Xander didn't really win a lot of the fight, he made the fight very interesting and competitive. Once he got hurt, I told you what I felt about it, but the fight itself was better than Karen's fight now, wasn't it? So you can't say that Karen's a better fighter than Xander. No, because Karen didn't stand there like Xander did. If Xander chose to use his legs and run around, he would have survived the 12 rounds. but he wanted to win the fight. Xander went for it. That's the difference. So at least I can say Xander's a better dog than Karen is. That's just the truth. They didn't waste any time. It wasn't hard to find Xander in that ring, and it wasn't hard to fight Jerron Boots Ennis. Now, was it? They literally fought in a phone booth. That's a different kind of fight. So shout out to Xander, daring to be great. As I tell you who didn't dare to be great, Twitter fingers Virgil Ortiz. All of a sudden, Virgil Ortiz got a lot to fucking say. A lot. But you know what you didn't do? You didn't take this fight. And because of the fact that you didn't have the balls to take this fight or price yourself out or sue Oscar or do everything else but fight Jerome Boots Ennis, Xander took the ass whooping you should have took. But all of a sudden, you weren't man enough to fight Jerome Boots Ennis, but the next day you wake up, now you can beat Xander, now you can beat Jerron, now you can beat everybody. You'll dance circles around fucking Sebastian Fedora, and you'll just knock out Josh Kelly. Let me guess, I'm taking a shot at it. Bro, Virgil, shut up, bro. Nobody believe you. Nobody believe you, bro. We've seen this story before. I don't like the ending. Every time Virgil, you say you're going to fight the top guy in your division, you never fight him. I've seen this movie before. I don't like the ending. Nah, fuck out of here, Virgil. Ain't nobody hearing what you saying right now. Xander fought Deron Boots Ennis, bro. What you wouldn't do. So I don't want to hear it. The fact we came up short, we lost, bro. Bro, he dog walked Xander, bro. Fuck, bro. He did, man. He did. Jerron Boots Ennis is a better fighter, man. He's not a phenom, not yet. I don't think he deserves that name just yet. But his resume is looking better. With Xander's name on his resume, depending how Xander fucking finishes his career. Now, what if Xander goes on and wins belts in two more weight divisions going up? And what if he stays undefeated the rest of his career? The only loss he would have lost to was Jerron Boots Ennis. Now, what if Jerron Boots Ennis finishes his career undefeated? That gives that loss over. You'd be like, yo, I lost to the best fighter in the fucking world in our era, in our time. Excluding Terrence Crawford. Because for all the flash, special effects, and power that Jerron Boots Ennis has, you're not doing that to Terrence Crawford. People ask me, round one, what version of Jerron Boots Ennis can beat Terrence Crawford and could he beat him at a certain age group? And I'm just going to keep my answer very cut and dry. There is no situation, I believe, in no point in time, Ennis could have beat Terrence. No. No. He can't. I don't think Terrence is getting older, yeah. But Terrence is too smart, man. Terrence is the type of fighter he can figure you out in real time. In real time. The problem with the Xander fight, he just didn't have the experience and the skills to catch up to Ennis. But they were there. A fighter like Terrence Crawford, what Xander didn't pick up on, he will. Xander is, and I mean, Terrence Crawford is in a 1% of boxers. He's with the Naoya Inoue's of the world, those kind of guys. And you mean to tell me that somebody's gonna yell out and say, "Yo, Jerron Boots Ennis' power will fucking rock"? Get the fuck, bro. Did you see who Terrence Crawford fought last? Saul Canelo Alvarez power. Canelo can crack. The last thing to go on a man is his power. So although Canelo was slower, a little bit sluggish, the one thing Canelo had in that fight with Terrence was his power. That was vintage Canelo power. So all of a sudden, Jerome Boots Ennis can crack harder than Canelo. He's got a better body shot than Canelo. Fuck out of here, bro. That man fought Canelo at 168. Are you? He took punches from Canelo, and you want me to think that Jerome Boots Ennis' power is going to what? It's just so much greater than Canelo's. If he was that kind of power puncher, he should have won, like, freaking obliterated Karen, everybody. We should have every belt everywhere. Let's not lose our mind, people. Jerome Butenis has great power. I don't think he has Saul Canelo Alvarez power. And Terrence walked through that with skills at that weight, still moving like that. Jerome Boots Ennis looks flashy at 154. Yeah, didn't Jamel Charlo look the same way? What happened to Jamel Charlo when he went up to 68? He was undefeated, looking fucking amazing. What happened? Not every human can do that. Terrence is in a different, really is, man. You got to pay attention to what he's doing. I don't think Boots can do that. Boots is going to look like the Charlo twin. He'll go to 168 and won't be able to move. He'll be fucked. He'll be screwed against Terrence. Terrence needs to come back down at 154, where he looked probably the worst. Yeah. Jerome Boots Ennis can't beat Terrence Crawford, bro. And Terrence Crawford, in a nice way, I truly believe Terrence Crawford is being the bigger man here. You don't understand what boxing means to Terrence Crawford, that kind of man. He's much more than just a boxer and a warrior. Terrence Crawford is a bit of a historian, and he gives back to boxing. I mean, he might not know every weight division, every name, not historian in that sense, a historian in the sense that what other boxers did and what they left behind after boxing. Terrence Crawford is opening up boxing gyms, taking like kids from the community, giving them free passes. He's going to Africa, opening up gyms out there. Terrence Crawford is actually giving back to boxing. How many boxers come into boxing, take all the money and fame, and just go? They don't even give $1 back to buy their old gym or neighborhood a pair of boxing gloves and a kid a pair of shoes. They'll do that whenever they're in trouble and they wreck their car and they want to look good. They'll order a fucking truck full of equipment and bring it somewhere to some kids. Hey, look at me. I'm doing good shit. No, that's fake. Terrence Crawford is a real. He lives, breathes boxing and competition. And I said all of that to say this, that Terrence Crawford is being the big bro in this situation. He's, no matter how much little brother talks shit, mama said don't put your hands on him. Okay? Boxing said, Terrence, don't let them Americanize you. Americans are always taught to attack other Americans. In every American sport, NBA, Celtics play the Lakers. Those are two American teams, and we're taught to pick one. But in actuality, when we go to the Olympics, that's Team USA. In boxing, it's like the Olympics. All our American fighters are actually fighting and competing against all other countries. Terrence Crawford and Jerron Boots Ennis are actually representing the same team. If what I'm saying is not true, when you go in the ring, don't they throw your flag on the side of your name? It shows what countries when UK win the belt, where they take the belts to, they take it back there. And we got to go get the belts back. Team USA. Terrence Crawford knows this. He doesn't want to be the guy that takes out Team USA like we always do. What beats another black American fighter? What beats a black American fighter? Another black American fighter. That's what beats him. And they know this. But boxing is a single man sport. And they use the fact that no, we're in it for the money. Terrence Crawford is in it for Team USA. Terrence Crawford is trying to unite the brothers. He got Shakur, Keyshawn. He's making the Avengers, and they're making fun of him. But Terrence is trying to tell the world, bro, we're Team USA. Tank, wake up. You know, like we can fight each other, but we're gonna fight against all other countries like they did with Errol Spence Jr. and him. They wiped everybody else out when there was no one left, and they fought. Competition. So Terrence publicly came out in an interview a while back, and Terrence said, I don't want to give the young man his first loss. Find a Mexican to do it. Find a Russian. Find someone else to do it. I don't want to be the one to give him his first loss. Why is it that you, in order to beat and take away from him or Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford riding off into the sunset undefeated? What have they been trying to do to Floyd Mayweather ever since he retired? Get him back in the ring. Our Mexican brethren, they threw everything they had at Floyd to try to beat him. They enticed them back. More money, more money. They got Terrence Crawford up on a podcast. 100 million. No, I won't take the fight. Just to take away his O so that he doesn't walk away for USA undefeated. All the other competing countries, they don't like that shit. They don't like that shit. Fuck that, because Americans talk shit and they're tired of it. They're tired of our guys being managed well or not taking the tough fight or not doing because once you're out the game, it's like USA, you know what they do? You ever play somebody on Madden? You're like your brother or somebody in the house, you're playing PlayStation. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are familiar with Madden football, NFL. Okay. You know, like you get in a game and you're down by 7 points in the fourth quarter, and there's 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock, and you got no timeouts. Team USA takes the knee. That's who they are, right? They take the knee at the end of their careers, the boxing career, and they start not fighting the young guy or not fighting this guy, and you're pissed off. Other countries are pissed off. They're like, fucking hike the ball. If you so bad, hike the ball. You're like, me, you ain't got no timeouts. Me, game's over. Me, like you, that's and it pisses you off to watch them go out in their career with an O, and you're looking back at their resume like, fuck that, bro. You didn't fight nobody, but you did it. That's the one thing you can't say. So they want to take that away from Terrence. They're gonna want to take that away from Jaron Boots Ennis. And shout out to both these fighters for daring to be great. What Xander did, in fact, he proved to the rest of his contemporaries, the rest of the boxing guys like the Shakurs, the Devin Haney's, the Tank Davises, the guys that came up in his era, he proved to them. Not one time did Xander ever say or talk about his O or the value of it or the importance of it, of keeping it. Not one time. Neither of these fighters. They didn't give a fuck about the O. They went in there to compete, both of them. Virgil doesn't want to lose that O. Devin doesn't want to lose so much. He took it to court to get it back. Tank don't want to lose it. Shakur. They're not in these kind of fights. Shakur Stevenson has never been in a fight he thought he could lose. Ever. He fought Tio. Good name? But let's be honest, bro. Did anybody got Tio in a fight like that? Except his fans, his mom, and his girlfriend? Like, we knew that we was wishing on a star with Tio. He was wishing, just like I was wishing on a star with Xander. That was me. Wishing on a star. Yo, I was talking him up. I was talking him up. Yo, I was talking him up. Yo, hit that like button. Then reality hit. Bam. 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 Reality hit. All right, let me start reading y'all chat. Let's go. Let's go. Let me hear it. I can imagine what y'all saying. Let's go. Let's go. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Let's go. I'm going off scrolling all the way up. Oh. All right. Good morning. What's up, fam? Round one. Yup. Salute, baby. I'm just someone. How you doing? US. Good morning, fam. Yup. Um, Lassa Xander fought the wrong fight because he always was hype. What? Xander fought the wrong because he always was a hype. Nah, nah, nah. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. It's just that now I understood why he did that. Had he fought off the back like that, and then when he might have got the opportunity to fight off the back leg, right? Let's say Xander was going to decide to switch it up. Once he saw the inside it wasn't working, he got his legs taken out from underneath him. Now he had to stand there, bro, just like Joshua. That's what happened. So, yeah, I hope I cleared that up. Respect to Xander for giving us what we wanted. We didn't lose on Saturday, Edwin, and Frontline. D1. Thank you, D1. Yo, congratulations to your boy. I know you had Jerron Boots Ennis in the fight. Congratulations to the victory. Yo, he is who they said he was. Yo, when we ask, yo, D1, when we ask, prove yourself. Your resume's not looking all that great. That's what we said coming into the fight. I even said, is this the fight that Jerron Boots Ennis is waiting for to show the people? Bro, I just been waiting to show you I'm not bullshitting. Just like Jerron Boots Ennis said leading into the fight, it doesn't matter what he does. He said, Jerron Boots Ennis, what if Xander does this or does that, blah, 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 and he does it, he said he gonna Jerron, simply the entire fight. It don't matter what he do. I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna stop him. And he did exactly that. And it did not matter what Xander did. Now, I want to explain something to you. When you look at the fight, and you say, why didn't Xander do this or fight this way? Let me explain something to you. That is exactly what the definition of shutting you down looks like. He shut Xander down. Xander had a game plan. He couldn't initiate it. That's what happened, my friends. So when you're asking yourself, why couldn't Xander do this or do that? He was. He was trying everything. He was standing in pocket. He was exchanging. He had a put down on the gum shield and went 50-50 because all else had failed. He got shut down. That's what happened. Then everything you're saying that he didn't do, in fact, he did. He just didn't work. That's why there's levels to this. Deron Boots Ennis was just the better fighter. Period. No excuses, no nothing. That's it. He showed Xander there's levels to this. Xander got the answer to his question. Xander said, I want to know. I want to know, am I the best where I'm at now at 23? He got his answer. What he takes from this fight, he's going to know he has to bring it up even more. The learning experience that Xander, that ass whooping, will teach him. Yes, it will. And he's going to come back even stronger and better than before. He's going to go up to 160. We're going to see what he does from there. But for this particular situation, in this fight, a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of fans, everyone are saying that Xander fought the wrong fight, that he did, his approach was wrong. While I watched the fight, I realized, no, it wasn't. His approach was not wrong. Xander had the right strategy. He just couldn't execute. He couldn't see Deron Boots Ennis' speed. When you say, or when I say, or when anyone says, Xander wasn't moving his head. How can you move your head to a punch you don't see? It would be like he gets hit and then moves. He was already got hit. It was like, fuck. Oh damn. Damn. He was too late on the moving because he was already hit. Xander didn't fight the wrong fight. He was outclassed. That's a difference, man. But Xander's, what he was bringing to the table, let's say he was successful with this. Let's say in that third round, he knocks out Ron Boltenis in a hypothetical situation. Would you be saying today that he fought the wrong style? No, you wouldn't. And he would have had done the exact same thing. The only outcome that would have been different, he would have stopped Jerron Boots Ennis. Or let's say he dropped Jerron Boots Ennis in the round he got stopped. Would you then say that Xander's technique? No, you would be looking at it different. But because he lost, you're going to say to yourself, it went wrong. No, no. He got shut down. He was outclassed. He was in over his head. Period. Period. He couldn't beat him. He wasn't ready for him. Everything that a lot of these boxing channels said, they were right. They were right. Xander's not ready. When Roy Jones said, I think he's taking this fight. Xander's a great fighter, strong. He's just taking this fight too early. They knew. They knew. I knew. You knew. But Xander dared to be great, and we were here. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I was saying, man. You know what I mean? D1, right? Yo, D1, check it out. Listen, I mean, Xander put me in a situation as a fan, a Puerto Rican fan, wanting to see the third belt. You guys know how passionate I am about that. And every fucking take, fucking crazy round one is about the belts. Like, yo, I want that third belt before I fucking die. I want to see that. And D1 knows, right? And Xander put us in a crazy situation as Puerto Ricans. You know, let's, like I said, let's play this out. Me and D1 are in the house, and Xander's our boy. We grew up in the same neighborhood together. Me and D1 are in my house playing PlayStation. I'm whooping his ass on Madden, of course, right? No, D1, you're not winning, right? Right? Xander comes up to the door. Yo. What's wrong? These motherfuckers want to fight outside. Let's go. I'm about to shoot the fade. Me and D1 get up like, let Xander lead the way. We walk outside. It's Jerron Boots Ennis and the Philly boys. Yo, Xander, let me talk to you over here for a minute. I mean, Xander, that's Boots. Why are you fighting, right? And then while me and Xander are talking, I turn around and fucking D1 is with Jerron Boots Ennis saying, yeah, fuck Xander. That motherfucker. Now the situation's even worse. Now we're down a man. D1 was with us. Now he on their side. I see you, D1. Mm, right? 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 Yo, shit just got worse. What am I supposed to run? You know what I'm saying? The best thing I could do is Xander, bro. Poke him in the eye, bro. Bite him. I don't know. Kick him in the balls. Give you advice. And if these dudes start jumping in or whatever, we gonna have to go. I went down with us, bro. Day outside. I wasn't gonna run. I ain't gonna run. What he picked Jerron Boots in his what were we supposed to do? Say, oh no, Xander, you fucked up. Like the dude said on the way out when Xander lost and we were leaving. These black dudes were on the side of us, and I had the flag still wrapped around my neck like this. And he said, "You might as well go ahead and take that off." And I turned to him and I said, "Then you might as well take off your blackness. You can't take that off, can you? I can't take this off. This is not a fashion statement. This is for life. I can't take this off." And the other dude behind them was like, because it's the truth. I mean, it was a slick comment. And I know what he meant in competition, but he meant it with the wrong thing. Can never take this off. This is not a fashion statement. You know, it's like, what the fuck you wanted us to do? We had to ride out with him. So I did. I saw him as the leading boxing Puerto Rican champion, leading the way. I viewed him as such. I cover boxing. I love competition. I like a good fight too. And you know, it was just he represented much more. And it's just not all Puerto Rican boxers, no. But there's a lot of them coming up, and I had the privilege to meet a few of them. Juanita Lopez, man, he scored his knockdown and he won his fight, and I met him and his dad. That's one. I got Keith Cologne on my radar, of course. Sorry, Keith Cologne and his dad, man. I was trying to get away to meet up with you guys. Shout out to I think is it DJ or J TJ or baby? I'm fucking bad. Even with initials, I can't get them right, right? My bad, dog. No, I just haven't gone back and looked at it. But he told me he was gonna meet me at Keith Cologne's father's gym and them where they be training at. It's not actually like their gym, but that's where they train at. And I was like trying to get away to go out there and meet them. Like I told you guys, I was trying to get to these gyms. But when you go back home to Jersey, I'm from Newark, right? And like your family starts calling you, and you want to. I want to spend time with my brother, and he just had a baby, his son. I showed you on the video and shit, and he's so funny, the little boy. He can't walk yet, but he tries. He's like crawling and everything. So like, I couldn't get away basically. And I wanted to get to these boxing gyms and stuff. So shout out to you guys. I saw your text messages and stuff, and I was trying my best to like juggle the little bit of time, the window, but without a car, of course. Also like bound to like my family or my brother was taking me around everywhere. Getting around in New York, New Jersey can be, so I was like, so I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it out there to the gyms, and I apologize for that. There'll always be another times we'll all link up, and I'm gonna be out there. I'm definitely covering some of your son's fights here, so I'm gonna be there. And we'll link up, and we'll get to that when we get to it. So anyway, um, yeah, a lot of great Puerto Rican fighters are actually, in fact, coming up, and I think that they're gonna make some real noise. So shout out to you guys, you warriors. Shout out to you guys, man. Do your thing, do your thing. And there was just a lot of boxing. So let me just continue reading these things because I know it. What's up, Edwin? What's up, round one? Mason, what's up? Them quick three jabs changed the game. That fucking 17 facts. What? Yeah. Oh, 17. Oh, for QS. Oh, that's what I meant. That's what you meant. Okay. Would like to see would like to see Xander fight Boots again later to try to avenge that loss. Yes, I think they might meet up at 160, in fact. And a little bit down the line, they will actually, in fact, and it'll be a mega fight. I think Jerron Boots Ennis has been behind Xander in the weight divisions. So I think Jerron's going to try to unify those belts at 154. Meanwhile, Xander's going to be trying to get belts at 160. And I think in the near future, few years, 2 years or so, maybe three, I don't know. Jerron Boots Ennis is 29. He turned 29 Friday, the day before the fight. So he was actually like 28. He was like 1 day old and 29. You know what I mean? That's exactly what he was. He was a day old when he 29 and 1 day. So yeah, he'd be about 31. He'd be about 31 at the time. If I'm just trying to rough guess it. He would be about 31. Xander's 23, put 25. Xander be about 25, 26, and he'd be 31. Somewhere around there, going on 32. And I think they will meet up again. And I hope the next time Xander's victorious, he'll be smarter, stronger, younger. And when they meet the second time, you know what I'm saying? We might get that lick back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We might get that lick back. I don't know. I don't know. We got to do something. Hit them like buttons. Hit them like buttons like Jerron Boots and his hit Xander right there. You know what I'm saying? Yo. No. Hey, it is what it is, man. We can take the shots. We can take the criticism. You know, Xander's not in this for criticism. He's in there to dare to be great. He has a different vision than a fan. Fans like to throw punches and shots back and forth. That's cool. That's cool. But Xander's not in it for that. So I respect what Xander did, bro. He fought. He basically went into fucking high school, picked out the biggest dude, and said, "You outside." You know, he fought the guy that a lot of guys are avoiding to fight because Duran Butenis, although he didn't have no belts, high, you know, high risk, low reward situations. Xander wasn't gonna win another belt. Xander, he was just gonna get a title defense. Duran Butenis got the opportunity to become unified in one shot in a second weight division on his resume. He had a lot more to gain. And that was truly a fight where it was high risk, low reward for Xander, and he still took the fight. And that's what I mean. I don't think a lot of people are giving him credit for that. And when a fighter does not do that, like the King Davises of the world, you say, "Oh, he ain't fighting no one." But when the young fighter dares to be great, oh, that was a stupid move. Fighters are damn if they do and they're damn if they don't. Like, so, I think that, he did the best he could. He just got shut down, guys. He got shut down. And then the rest of the fight card, Ben Whitaker, watching him live, yo, that speed, that watching it like live there, that was pretty fucking good. That was pretty fast. I saw David Morale fight. Uh, what was the Russian dude in New York City on the tennis court? Remember that? I felt like David Morale lost that fight. He got dropped in that fight too, didn't he? At like the closing seconds of the round or something. I remember he got boom. I was like, oh shit. All I remember was saying to myself when that fight with David Morale ended, he lost the fight, and they fucking gave it to him. Yeah, he lost that fight. I watched it. And so I'm watching Ben Whitaker fight Popeye. Shouts out to Popeye, man. You know, you got caught early, cold. Uh, wasn't your night, brother. It made you look bad, yes. The way everything unfolded, but there are situations in boxing where a fighter comes out and he gets caught cold early and he just couldn't recover. That second knockdown, that check hook, that shit was dope. Yo, he caught him right here. It was like pinpoint accuracy. He came forward, slid back, stop, brief, like slid, stopped enough to get out of the punch and snapped it. I was like, bam, bam. He went down, face down, ass up. Ooh, I was like, shit. I mean, you win some, you lose some. I like what Popeye brings though. His whole facade, you know. Uh get back up on the horse, bro. You was out for a long time. You had like 15 months inactivity. I tell you guys this. He wasn't up to fight speed. He was up to like sparring speed and the patience of a guy walking towards you, and it's not real fight night aggression. It's not. And you can't imitate the night crowd from sparring. And you got headgear and bigger gloves on, and it's just not the same thing. And he had a lot of time inactivity where that I thought that maybe the inactivity might show up and ring rust. And it seems to be like that, but I think he got caught cold early in the fight, man. I think he didn't warm up the engine, you know. So yeah, and then Emilio Vargas, El General, right? Bryce Miller there, right? He's from Syracuse, New York. They're fighting in the Barclays Center. Where? In New York. This kid had a lot of support. when they were not, he came out with the Syracuse shirt like this. You know what I'm saying? He came in the ring. He was doing his thing, and that's the referee calling that one. That one for me is a little like um yeah, I think Bryce could have fought more. Yeah, and I don't think I think it, sometimes I think that these it was an early stoppage, right? But I'm not next to Bryce. I'm not reading his body language like the referee is. He's the closest person to the fighter, and Bryce is probably like he's seeing things that I don't have the privilege to see. So the ref felt the fight was over with. Uh, I gotta go back and I gotta watch it. I have it on my phone actually. That Bryce Mill, I got that knockout. I got a lot of I think he got the Xander knockout. I got let me see here. What's the Bryce one? The Emiliano knockout. I got that too. I remember this when they were taking off Emiliano's jacket like that. His father was taking off his jacket. Uh yeah, I got a lot of good videos. I gotta go through this shit and really like see what I have. Yeah, baby. The walkout was cool with Emiliano. I got that too. I have a lot of things I gotta go through and keep. This is me and Oshaki Foster. Uh, let's see. What's this one? Oh, I got the knockout with this is Wamita. Wamita. I got Wamita's knockout. Wamita drops him. Yeah, we'd have to sit here and watch the whole fight and shit, but yeah, I got a lot of cool videos, man. A lot of cool shit. Oh yeah, showbiz. I meant showbiz. It's me and showbiz right there. Uh Sean Sattel and Crew School Media. That's us right there. Sean Sattel, that dude, bro. Every all of us will sometimes call a fight wrong or whatever, and it makes you look kind of, but you can't call every fight right. But he's got some great things, that dude, man. Yeah. Ed Hearn. Here's a photo. I don't know if you guys got the chance to see that. That's with Emiliano right there. And then let's see. That's Popeye right there. Uh let's see. The Sereno brother. Uh this is my favorite picture. And that's a video actually I got right there. Bam. My brother took the original picture. Fernando Vargas. Let's go, Mexico. Bro, that's fucking Vargas right there. And then that shit was dope. That was dope, man. That Mexican dude, bro. Those were fighters, bro. Felix Trinidad, Vargas is, Oscar De La Hoya's, the Julio Cesar Chavez is of that time. Like, yo, that era was crazy. I didn't appreciate it. Look at my brother with Jerome Boots Ennis. See, uh, it's Ed Hearn doing his thing. I met Ed Hearn too. I met Ed Hearn everywhere. Ed Hearn's everywhere. Hold up. That's Oshaki Foster being hassled. Leave that man alone. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. There's this one with Southpaw and Broadway Joel. I was thinking about trolling them and shit, but it was cool meeting them. you know. Oh, this is it. Look at me say, tall she is. I'm looking up. She's telling me about fights. She's like, hey, little guy. Yeah. You should have went down to the body. Yeah. She's tall. I think it was high heels. She had high heels on. She did. She had flats. She had flat shoes. Yo, mad tall. Yeah, man, it was an amazing night. It was an amazing night, guys. It really was. It was an amazing night. And shout out to everybody that met me there, everybody that I met. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you guys. You know, it was that's what's up. Would like to see Xander fight. Yeah, yeah. Boots. Okay, yeah, I read that. Berlanga is up next to represent Puerto Rico. Yeah, I guess he's representing Puerto Rico. You know, Berlanga got a lot to show me. You know, I've seen Berlanga get the hype and the money before and fall off the wagon. Yeah, he just got. I'm not convinced with Berlanga. He's Puerto Rican. You know, salute, brother. Let me go check out to see who you're fighting. Look up that guy and shit. Uh, Frontline, my co-host, he's probably gonna pick Berlanga. He always picks the Puerto Rican guy. You know how Frontline does. Me, nah. I can't just take any Latin fighters or like that. I'm not picking them. It was just Xander. Xander, what he represented. That was it. And he got my full support. And I went to the fight as a fan. So I thought I was very transparent with that. Very. Um, but frontline, any Puerto Rican fighter, he's taking him. Yo, I told him Brian Norman Jr. was gonna scrape homeboy up. No, he's gonna. Yo, Brian Norman Jr. rocked him. I was laughing. I was like, yo, bro, Puerto Rico was down bad that day, but I'll support my brothers. I'll support them definitely. If they're doing the right thing and they winning they fights and they doing and they start to garnish like, oh shit, yo, this dude ain't out fucking drinking, smoking, flipping cars, taking breaks, huge breaks of inactivity, and asking the people to back that shit up. Like, nah, bro, you got a little work to do before we stamp you. There's a lot of Puerto Rican boxing fans. Okay, you guys are fans. I'm not talking about you guys. You guys got the right to be fans with any fighter you want. Support is different. I'm not viewing these guys as fans. Like that's one of my favorite fighters, or I like him, or this and that. That's fan shit. And like support is different when you got your island backing you. You gotta prove yourself that we're not backing any fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry, and he's gonna go out there and embarrass us every time. We felt win, lose, or draw, Xander was gonna represent, and he did exactly that. He did the best he could. He didn't fail. He didn't lose. He technically lost the fight, but when you compete, when you compete, do you think that this is a failure for Xander? No, this is not a failure. You have a goal to complete something at your job or anything. When Michael Jordan had 9 losing seasons in the NBA, were those failures? No, that was in preparation to get into the championship. That wasn't wasted time. That wasn't fail. You learned. Xander didn't fail. He came up short. He lost the match, but on to the next championship. You didn't fail in anything. You lost the fight. My career is not over. How did you fail if you have the ability to win another championship? So the goal is always the same. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You see? And that's the difference between being a fan and knowing how to support your fighter. Identifying the difference. I can't take this off. I want my country to be successful as well. But the guy that I'm going to support, I believe anyway, for me, must garnish that respect from us. We got to believe in you. And every time your fighter loses, what? He's finished? Shit, if Berlanga jumped onto somebody's float in a parade and everybody thought we were giving him a parade, we might as well give Xander a real parade for his efforts and show him that we love him, that we support him, and that we're not going to turn our backs on him because, damn it, that's who we are. Win, lose, or draw, let's show Xander, brother, thank you for giving us that. Was not the fight entertaining? What is it not going to be considered or be in the ballot, maybe, possibly, for maybe fight of the year? They might make the ballot. I'm not sure if they win, right? Are you not entertained? I'm asking. Are we not entertained? So he didn't fail at anything. He didn't, just this is the risk, the price you pay daring to be great. Fighting the fights that are true 50-50s. Shit, Xander fought a 60-40 fight, knowing he was 40%. And people were like, this is not a 50-50 fight. No, it wasn't. And neither was Gerard Boutsennis flat-footed, like Xander said. He was going to say everything he needed to say to get Gerard Boutsennis in the ring. That's what Xander wanted. That's what Xander asked for. That's what Xander was attempting to do. Tell Tank Davis to do that. Tell Devin Haney to do it. Go ahead. I'll be right here. Tell Shakur Stevenson to get in the ring with Ron Boutsennis. Go ahead. Who do you got? Who do you got? What, is your fighter doing shit like this? Because my fighter just did. And we knew he was outgunned, outmatched, too young, inexperienced. Guess what? He still took the fight. Virgil still took the fight. That's the price you pay. That's the price you pay. Young man Xander, you lost. You lost. You came up short. He showed you there's levels to this. You fought valiantly. You fought with your heart. You weren't there to like lay down. You did not have to fight Jaron Boutsennis. You chose to. And I'm not giving out participation trophies because we don't want none. I don't want anybody's sympathy. I don't want Xander to be given a, you gave it your all trophy. Fuck you and your trophy. We're not asking for that. We asked to fight and we lost. That's it. That's it. Don't be sympathetic for him. He's not asking. He's a fucking warrior. He doesn't want your sympathy. He wants the win. He lost. Fuck it. On to the next. And to any Puerto Rican out there that's thinking, bro, They're fucking sacrificing all our Puerto Rican fighters. They're putting all like they did it to Super. They did no, no, they're not. No, they're not. Our Puerto Rican fighters are getting the big fights. They deserve those fights. They deserve the right to be there. They just lost. They're not sacrificing us. It's about time we get these fucking fights. And you're talking about they setting us up? Oh, that's where we wanted to be. We just needed to win. That's it. You can't say, oh man, they're putting all the Puerto Rican dudes in now. They're taking our belts. Thank you. What am I missing here? Where did I go wrong? We finally got the big fucking fight. We just lost. For a long time, they weren't giving us these fights. Now that we get there and we lose, what? Now they're setting us up? No. No. We're just losing. I'm glad Superior got that fight with Berto Puello, man. He just lost to fucking Liam Paro. When is he gonna get another title fight? They fucking title fight landed on his lap. And he beat Alberto Puello when they thought he wasn't supposed to win that fight. That the superior boxing of Alberto Puello is gonna fuck Superior up. But what happens when we win? Now they're not setting us up. But when they were supposed to set us up and we were supposed to lose, we fucking won. Then when we're supposed to win the fight, we fucking lose against Dalton Smith. Against are you? We're just losing. That was a mega fight in Puerto Rico. Was the fucking main event. How are they setting this up again? By giving us the biggest fights? So they're not avoiding us now. Congratulations, Puerto Rico. Edgar Berlanga made it all the way up there. He just got knocked the fuck out by Hamza. Face down, ass up with the King of New York on the fucking trunks of your. Our guys can't handle the bright lights or cover the main event. They shouldn't be there. And if you feel like they're rushing them along, they shouldn't take the fight. If you signed that contract and you took the fight and you want to put on shorts, the King of New York, well, then you need to fucking win. That's it. Ain't no setup, ain't none of that shit. I'm proud of our guys for getting up there and being the main events. They did that for our country. We might have lost and we won. We didn't lose every fight. I saw Xander win 2 bouts. So we didn't lose every fight. You know what I'm saying? We win some, we lose some. On to the next. That's it, bro. That's it. What's up, baby? Salute. That's what real men do. Then they don't make any excuses. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Put the link in the chat. Got you. Put the link in the chat. Let's hear what the fans have to say. Yes, round one ate his crow. Where is Frontline right now? Frontline is on vacation somewhere in the witness protection program, hiding out. He don't want to hear the wrath of the fans. We're home, Frontline. We are here. Oops, something went wrong. Try reloading the page. What? What the hell? Oh, wait a minute. What happened? Sent me a thing. Boom, bing, bing, bing. Right? Boom, boom. There we go. There we go. It didn't let me put it in the first time. So I dropped the link in the chat right there. If you guys want to hop on, respectfully talk boxing. We don't have to disrespect each other. You know the rules here. Round one sports talk. We have we try to have a gentleman's peaceful conversation. I always encourage hype, you should talking 101. Let's be respectful and mindful. Women, children, and death threats and shit. Remember, guys, you guys probably never met some of these fighters. Don't get really like stupid. When I see you, like relax. So let's have a boxing intelligent conversation. And by intelligent I mean civil, civil. You know, you can still talk shit to me, Ramon. You were wrong, type shit. Yes, I expect all of that and more. You know, I'm not shying away from anything. And I don't tick anybody really off here unless you do something really drastic or something. Don't understand why Zayas came out with that style. We were talking about that, the style that he came out, in fact, in the early part of this show, and I'll re-go over it with you. When upon going back and looking at it and really thinking about the situation, and shout out to Malcolm on the boxing voice that brought this angle to my attention. It really woke me up in the theory of like, yeah, I could see his approach. If Xander had stand out, fought off the back foot, try to stay long and work off the jab, it would have just been a longer ass whooping. He probably would have made it to the 12th round, but he wasn't going to win the fight. Duran Butenis was way faster than him, and Duran Butenis was stalking him going forward. I think the initial plan was to try to stand in the pocket with him and create 50-50 exchanges where Xander had his best success in the fight. Xander didn't have any success fighting on the outside. He would have never that approach, like when he fought Abbas Baru and Chino Perez, he was never going to win that fight. He was just going to get his ass whooped for a long time. Rather than doing that, Xander decided to attack him and meet him in the middle. What happened was Duran Butenis clipped him with an uppercut, then that right, and then that left, and sat him down. When he did that, what you gotta pay attention to is the way Xander got up. He utilized the 8 count, looked at the ref. The ref said 8. He stood up, turned around, and staggered. In that moment, I knew that Duran Butenis took Xander Zayas' legs. Same thing that happened to AJ and the Andy the Destroyer Ruiz fight. When he dropped AJ that first time, the rest of the fight, AJ's legs were gone. He couldn't respond the same way. So I see you, brother. I'm gonna bring you in now. I see you. What's up, my man? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you loud and clear.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. I understand that the guy has a rematch clause, Xander's eyes, and he was 1 or 2 punches away from knocking this guy out. Everybody's on the Jawan Ennis train right now, but right now, if Xander would have landed the finishing touch on that fight in the third round, it would have been the Xander's eyes train right now. And Xander's eyes, you're correct. He didn't have to give him the fight. He was not a mandatory. He could have found a way to circumvent and not make this fight. Okay, because Jawan Ennis didn't want to fight. He was the mandatory for Abbas Barua. He didn't want to fight Abbas Barua. He waited for the big money fight, right? So he took the big money fight, and he managed to win. The reason Xander was having problems at the beginning because he was fighting at a faster pace than Xander. So Xander didn't use the jab to back him off. Okay, I think Xander would have had an easier fight. Xander was just backed him off with a jab. Like for example, I think Ryan Garcia, Jovan Ennis would have got stopped by Ryan Garcia if he would have fought him that day because he got a power jab. So Xander, what he got to do is implement the power jab to slow him down and catch him with that right, and he will knock him out. You know what I'm saying? He will knock this dude out in his back. And all these other guys, they don't have those tools that Xander has and Ryan has. So they're going to avoid him. Vandor is slow. Vandor been knocked out before. Vandor is just a southpaw that's big. But I guarantee you, if Jovan fought him, Jovan will knock him out. Many guys will knock out Sebastian Vandor. Sebastian Vandor is going to avoid this guy like a plague. He's not going to fight him. In my opinion, I think Shakur Stevenson could beat him. Know what I'm saying? But he's going to avoid him. He's not going to want to fight him. Know what I'm saying? All these guys are saying that Jovan needs to fight in his hometown. So if Jovan needs to fight in his hometown, then why you not giving the rematch close to Xander and fight Xander your hometown crowd? Know what I'm saying? Give Xander the opportunity to fight a second fight. Sugar Ray Leonard was allowed to fight a second fight, immediately rematch with Roberto Duran, and he went the distance, but he got beaten up bad. He was spitting blood and everything. Know what I'm saying? And then Anthony Joshua, he got knocked out by Andy Ruiz. I think that knockout was even worse than the Xander knockout. Know what I'm saying? Because he got tuned up real bad. And they did a immediate rematch in Saudi Arabia, and he won the title back. So give them an opportunity to correct this craft and possibly win this title back. Know what I'm saying? And if you could duplicate what you did that same night in a better fashion, then much kudos for you. But this is what I want to see. I want to see Jovan do courageous things. Jovan was given a gift, an opportunity to fight the unified champion. So why don't you appreciate that and give the opportunity back to Xander? They were both compatible in size. They both ballooned up in weight. I think like Boots was probably like 170 and Xander was probably like 180, but they were compatible, bro. I think Xander just needed to acclimate to the speed of a Boots Ennis, and he needed to slow him down with the jab. Tune him up with the jab, bust him up with the jab, and he wanted. Another guy that will do that, will be able to duplicate, will be Ryan Garcia. Another guy that will give him a hard time, that's real durable, is Mario Barrios. So there's a lot of contenders to fight. I hope he don't stall because he said nobody wants to fight him. Know what I'm saying? And I hope he gives the opportunity to run it back with Xander, because I hear people mentioning names like Majumov. What has Majumov done to be accredited a fight with Jovan Ennis? Nothing. Know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's touch on a couple of things. You came in hot. You touched on a lot of things. So for the fans and for the show, let's break down a couple of things you touched up on. Okay, as far as the Duran Bucenis rematch, I was under the impression that Xander told us what he was gonna do in the ring when he gave Jerome Boots Ennis the hand, tapped him on the shoulder, and he said, "You conquered the 154," meaning he's now going to exit. He was telling him that right then and there. That's what I took from it when he said, "Go ahead, you go and be the king at 154." He gave him the nod, excluding himself now. So that when Xander said that, right there, I thought there wasn't going to be a rematch, and I thought that Xander was going to go up because he was telling us that he had said, "Now you be
So
the king at
I think, in my
154."
opinion, to touch that, I don't mean to interrupt you. Much respect, but I think he said at the current time he's the man. Like the same thing with Sugar Ray Leonard lost to Durant, the
Okay, so
first
you
fight.
took it that way.
Yeah,
Okay,
I took it that way. I say you right now for the
okay,
present time you're the man, but now there's a rematch. So like for example, Andy Ruiz, he was the man when he knocked out Anthony Joshua. There was a rematch. Eddie Hearn is familiar with this. Eddie Hearn knows that, bro. Even when Anthony Joshua got knocked out, he gave him a chance to in a rematch to win his title
right.
back. So Sugar Ray Leonard, he came with a different
Yes.
game plan
No,
and
no, no.
beat Durant. So
Yes.
this guy should be given the opportunity. He did that to him because I think Xander was more shocked that he got knocked out. I think that's what it was. That's what it was. At the present
No,
time,
no.
he's a man
Of
at
course, of
154
course, of
because
course, of
he had
course.
the perfect game plan, bro. He caught that a couple of more finishing touch punches, and it would have been over, bro. It would have been
Yeah,
over.
but
The guy got
but
rocked. All
but
he has is fast hands. He fights at a fast pace, and he bullies the guys. He bullies the guys. Won't really tend to do that. They tend to bully you with a faster pace and a lot of offense. But when you tag them, forget about it. It's over. And he's been getting tagged not only by Xander. Luis Maliba tagged him with a big shot in the first round, and he
mhm.
countered it. You know what I'm saying? He hit
Okay,
him
so
back.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. So let's just say, let's just break it down and see some of the options that Xander actually in front of him have. Like you so eloquently put out that there is a rematch. There's a potential that he can activate that if he chooses to. Now, one of Xander's other options would to be to move up to 160. There's the IBF that is vacated. Okay, he can fight for vacated IBF, or he can fight Lara, as Landy Lara. Landy Lara's up there in age, but a very crafty veteran, very crafty,
Okay,
very
okay.
skillful
Right
boxer.
now,
Wait,
right.
so wait,
Okay,
hold on.
okay,
And then let me just break down the champions. So I'm giving you the options. Let me allow. So and
okay.
then there's Carlos Adames at 160, right? And then there's Jernebeck. So Xander can move up, either fight one of the champions or for the vacated IBF, of course, right? Or activate his rematch with Jaron Butsenis. Now I'm just asking you, this is, just you answering this question, because either way, if he doesn't take the rematch claw but fights for a title at 160, I'm not going to say that was wrong. So what would, in a good world for
Okay,
you,
in my opinion, okay, you can answer that. Okay, in my
yep,
opinion, I think the new rematch with Joannis will be more monetary, have more monetary gain. You get much more respect from his Puerto Rican fans. It's something that a Puerto Rican champion that catering to his people, his fans, is the rematch. He's gonna get much more money. He was 2 or 3 punches away from knocking this guy out flat on his back. Um, I'm pretty
all
sure
right, all right.
he needs to hold more. He has to tweak
Okay,
himself out.
wait. Now you're breaking down the fight. I just wanted your opinion on which one would be more marketable for
Yeah,
you. Now,
because every time they now
wait. You answered it. Now,
okay,
my opinion is he can't go wrong for me either way, because now fighting Jerron Boots Ennis at 154 for, like you said, the respect of the people, getting that leg back. Let's just say he wins in a division he no longer can make the weight. So he's going to go there to take the win, to vacate the belts anyway, to move 160.
yeah,
Now, in the other,
okay,
wait. Let me answer. Let me finish my statement. And the other scenario, you already had those two belts at 154. Re-winning the belts doesn't give you another division or two new belts. You already had those. But moving up to 160, you're a champion in a new weight division and you have a new belt. So now you're a two-time, two-division world champion by moving up. If you
okay,
fight Jerome Butzenis, you remain a one-division one
okay.
world
I understand
champion.
what you're saying. I understand.
I'm just saying the options
Okay,
I'm
but
giving you,
him fighting
brother.
Javon Ennis, he goes back on the pound for pound weights. He becomes a two-time 154 pound champion. He got the belts back in the rematch. Okay, then
But
he
he
could
can
have
go and
he
do the
has an
same
option.
thing.
He has an option for a rubber match with Javon, which is going to be a big
That's
money fight.
okay.
Okay, and
Okay.
then he could always move up to 160. He could always move up to
No.
160.
How about this? How about this? How about this? How about this? He goes up to 160. You said two-time at 154, but at 160, you become a two-division world champion. Now, you can still activate the rematch called the rubber match under the promise we'll meet up later, just like Tim
The
Zoo.
rubber match is the third fight. The third fight.
Wait. Just like Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. Even though he could have, Terrence would have gave it to him, it would have been at another weight. So what if Ron Boots Ennis wipes out the 154 in 2 short years, comes up to 160, where Xander is now a champion? Now we can relive. We can get that respect and that leg back in another way and still get it back and be better accomplished.
Okay, let me explain. This win right now that he got over Xander is fresh in people's eyes, right?
Yeah.
If he goes right now and he stays at 154 and he fights Virgil and gets knocked out, or he fights another guy and gets knocked out like a Ryan Garcia who's red hot right now, he fights a Ryan Garcia. Because how about if Ryan Garcia tells Conor Ben to kick rocks and fights and knocks him out like in 2 rounds? Then if he moves up to 160 and fights Xander, it's not gonna have the same oomph. You know what I'm saying? So the same power right now is if Xander fights him at 154 right now, knocks his guy out, finishes finishes the job, then probably does a third fight, which is the rubber match, and makes a shitload of money. Then he can always say, "Okay, I can't make the weight no
All right,
more,"
Suleiman.
and move up to 160.
All right, Suleiman, check it out, man. You said a lot with that, and I'm gonna tell you right now. Although Ryan Garcia is a very that's a mean check hook, he's getting better as a boxer.
His
You know
right hand.
something like his right hand is getting better. Listen, let me tell you something right now. You're gonna have to be more than a left check hook and one right hand to beat Jaron Butsenis, unfortunately. Xander Zayas is a better boxer, a technical boxer than Ryan Garcia, and he couldn't do it. What do you think Ryan Garcia coming up in weight, trying to fight with who? Jaron Butsenis? I'm sorry, brother,
I could
but
break
I
that
got
down for you
Jaron
right now. You give
Butsenis.
me a chance?
I I listen, I got Jaron Butsenis in that fight. There is no fighter that Ryan Garcia fought that was Jerome Boots and his type. Like, but he fought Tank Davis and he didn't win. Like, what did he ever
Okay.
win a round
All right.
against
Cool.
Tank?
Cool.
Like,
Cool. If you let me debate with you on that, you give me
go
the
ahead, go ahead.
opportunity. I think Ryan Garcia got power. Ryan Garcia's a much
Yeah,
mature fighter. Ryan Garcia is being trained by his father now, a much better trainer. He's fully confident in his son. He's gonna have a speed to
slow
be
down, slow down,
compatible to
slow down,
Javon.
slow down, slow. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You gotta back up. I'm sorry. You can't say things just to say them. You can't say that Ryan Garcia's dad is a better trainer than Javier Centennial, where he has two guys that became world champion unified. He took George Camboza and beat Tio and won 3 belts with him under the tutelage of him, and then he took Xander to the promised land. How many champions has Ryan Garcia's father coached?
Okay, well,
All right,
his
he's not a
son, he
better
championed
coach.
his
You
son.
can't just say things like that, my brother,
Okay,
and
okay, but what
just
I'm saying
think
is the guy
that.
has
I'm
confidence in
sorry.
his son. A guy has
Okay,
confidence in his
okay, that's
son.
a different. I'll
Okay,
allow that. Yes, go ahead.
okay, he has confidence. The guy has a power jab. He's gonna use all his fundamentals. He's gonna use the whole ring because if he would have had the fast jab, he would have backed up Javan because he would have get pole axe with a jab and the 1-2s. So he would have been able to counter him. And then you saw the confidence he had when he had Tank. Tank, he doesn't pivot like Tank. Joanne doesn't have the pivots like Tank. Tank could pivot. Tank has very underrated boxing skills. When he went in to fight Tank, he had a lot of confidence. He came there to knock out Tank, but he couldn't because Tank countered him and dropped him. Okay, so he and then you see the gameness. Ryan Garcia is very game. He's probably equally as game as Xander. And Xander almost knocked out Ennis, but I don't know why these guys are forgetting that Xander was 2 or 3 punches away from knocking this guy out. I don't see
Okay,
why these guys are.
okay, okay, okay. I'm not sure if you heard my breakdown on what happened in this fight, but I'll just try to do it as fast as I can. What happened was Xander and Jerron Butsenis went at it in that first round. And when Xander went down in that first round, Jerron Butsenis took his legs. When Xander chose to stand in the pocket with him and he exchanged with him, I think that that was the best chances that Xander gave himself because he wasn't going to, he's not faster than Jerron Butsenis and he doesn't have cat like reflexes like Jerron Butsenis. When you describe these fighters, the one thing about you, I get your passion and everything, but you got to learn how to like break these fighters down by skill gaps. Ryan Garcia is fast and everything, but that's not where he's weak. You keep bringing up his strengths. Where Ryan's weakness is his ring IQ, his experience. He doesn't have those real kind of fights where, his good test and his best showcasing of date was Mario Barrio, guy that Tank Davis dog walked. So it was like, listen, um, you got to understand that you need to focus on some of these guys' weaknesses and what they came up short in and the level of boxing. In order for Jerron Boots Ennis to do what he did to Xander, remember 99%, Of all the fighters that fought Xander, not one of them were able to put him down. Not one of them were able to do what Jaron Boots Ennis did to him. You see, what you're not taking into account, you're just looking at the performance and you're saying, oh, Xander did bad. No, Xander did not do bad. In fact, he looked the best he ever looked. He got shut down. He was outclassed, he was outgunned, he was outskilled. It made him look bad. Xander didn't move his head, got a lot of speed. He didn't have no sight. He couldn't move out of a target from a punch he couldn't see. By the time he got hit, oh shit, I should have no head movement because he kept getting hit by shots he wasn't seeing.
So you say that a rematch is not a good option for him?
It's not a good option right now. There's levels to this, and Jaron Boots Ennis taught Xander that a lesson. You're not on this level. You never were. Xander's 23 years old. Jaron Boots Ennis is 29. He's got 35 fights. He's got a lot of boxing experience. Xander, we knew this. This was a chance for him to test himself against the very best, and he did it. He came up short. He got shut down. If any other fighter would have been in there with Xander, you would have saw his real game plan, and you would have saw the execution of it because he would have been able to do it. Jaron Boots Ennis he had too many special effects. That uppercut was crazy. Xander didn't see that punch. So what I'm saying to you is he was outclassed. What you're viewing is how bad he was outclassed. You're not understanding the styles of every fighter and that other fighters are going to go in. You think now what? They just going to whoop on Xander? Unless you can do what Jaron Boots Ennis did to Xander, good luck against Xander. Good luck. He's probably going to whoop your ass. And now this is going to be a newer version of Xander because Xander got to see firsthand what it takes to be on that level. What do you think he's going to do? Oh, shit. I got to step it up. I got to get better. This motherfucker, ain't nobody did do that to Xander. No
So you
one.
say that Xander can't just box this guy and move more
No, he
movement?
can't. He can't. Jaron Boots Ennis is just better. He can't.
So
You
so to
can't box him.
resurrect his career, he's gonna have to you advise him for the present time to avoid Javon.
Yes, please. For right now, let the young man get better. It's just going to be a word. Listen, when a guy beats you like that, the second time you fight, how much confidence you think Boots is going to have now? And how much more careful is he going to be with Xander's power? He's not going to let Xander flip him this time. This time, Jaron's going to choose to move a little bit more and be more effective. He's probably going to knock out Xander worse. Let Xander get better. Let him mature. And let us meet him at another weight. And I think the fight will look much different because Xander, remember, you got to look at his progression. Since the age of 17, since the time Top Rank signed him, at the young age of 21 years old, he was already a world champion. You got to admit, he's learning on the job at a rapid rate. The, the problem is you already threw him in with the toughest guy. So people like casuals, they're not going to see this. That Xander dude, no, he's learning like this. Already at 23, he already had 2 belts. That dude is going to be dangerous later down the line. And I guarantee you, mark my words, that the next time we meet, it's going to be a different fight. Because that
So
Xander kid is learning. And Jaron Boots Ennis, shout out to you. You're getting better in the sense you're learning how to fight better in the weight. But I got to admit, you are the same fighter every single time. You know what happens to those fighters, right? That don't, he makes adjustments in the ring, but he has the same fighting style. With a coach like Xander's coach, watch. Mark my words. They're going to devise a better game plan. They already came up against them. They know what they're dealing with. I know Jerron's going to get better too. And I just think it'll be a better fight, but let the young man develop. Let him get better. Yo, Xander, you did what you did, bro. You know, you dared to be great. I don't see the way you fought anything wrong. No flaws, nothing. There was nothing he could do. He was truly outmatched, outgunned, outskilled. That I make no excuses for Xander, the Puerto Rican champ, because I know in my hearts of hearts he wouldn't want me to make an excuse for him. He's Puerto Rican. We don't want that shit. I know what's in his blood.
But don't you think it'd be much more better if he took the rematch for with the Puerto Rican fans will respect him more if he went in there?
Nah, I would respect him either way. You mean to tell me that you move up and fight fucking Lara, or you fight the Dominican champion Carlos Adames, or even Janabek and beat him, and you become a two-division world champion? Bro, you're starting the amount of, do you understand that in Puerto Rican history, the most divisions we ever got was four? That's it. The most belts we ever got was two. So technically, at 23 years old, he did what the greatest Puerto Rican champion of all time, he met them at 23. You're not understanding what this kid is doing. He's fast, bro. He might have lost this fight, but he's already there. He's literally matched the best Puerto Rican fighters accoladed. They can't say, the only thing they can say is divisions. Going up another division, that's two. Now we're working towards that fourth. Do you understand this shit, bro?
Yeah, but the
Like
defense
I
is well,
that's why
Wilfredo
I
Gomez
that's
got
why I
18.
view it. That's why I view boxing like this and I share it with you.
Wilfredo Gomez got 18 title defense at 122. He did
Yeah,
the
that's
18.
title defenses. We're not talking about that. Felix Trinidad got 14. We're
Yeah.
not talking about that. That's a run. That's called a run. Okay? That's another thing that he needs to do. Check. But I'm talking about just our highest champion award, not what the champion's run was. He already
Yeah, he'd be
matched
very
that
marketable if he goes to 160. He'd probably be
he
one of
already
the most
matched
marketable.
that at 22,
He'd be one
23.
of the
He
most
already
marketable fighters
matched
at
that.
160 if he moved up.
That's
If
what
he
I'm
moved
saying. Listen. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
if he moved up to
Go ahead.
160, he'd be one of the most marketable fighters at 160. So
Yes, that's why I'm saying that the Jerron Boots and his rematch right now, if he didn't take it, I think we would understand, in fact. We know what we saw. We know what we saw. We want it to be we want it back in blood when running. We just want to be better prepared. What's wrong with that? We
I
want it.
agree.
We want the smoke. We want it. We just want to make sure that our guy got a better chance. We'll meet up
Are you
again.
gonna be on the other show tonight or no? Today or no?
No, 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 not going. I'm not going. I go on Mondays on the Boxing Voice. I go on Mondays and shit. And then I start my show on Tuesdays and shit. And then
All right.
shit like that, you know. And then I go on my show Wednesdays,
So
7:30,
what do you think about
7:30.
Juan Manita Lopez, the son of Juanma Lopez? He was pretty
Remarkable
good.
talent.
Yeah, very good fighter, huh?
Yes, very good fighter. This is the second fight I've been to with him. Um, I met his father outside. I interviewed his father. I got video with me and his
Oh, you
father
was in a
talking.
Barclays? You was in a Barclays watching a fight?
Yeah,
Oh, so you really saw this. Oh, so you saw the talent raw. So that's why. You saw that shit raw. So that's why. I
yeah.
didn't
No,
know.
no, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. A lot of people were like, Xander quit or took the Puerto Rican knee. And I was like, yo, y'all should have waited for me, somebody that was at the fight, to tell you what exactly happened. And what happened was when Xander got dropped the first time, he went to the knee, utilized the standing 8 count. Then he got up, he was wobbled. Second time, he got to the knee, utilized the full 8 count, which you're supposed to, not just stand up real quick, utilize it, and boom. So right before the stoppage, the round before that, they were threatening to stopping the fight. Xander was taking a lot of damage. So the Harvey Doc goes up into the corner, Xander's corner, and he says to him, yo, you got to show me something. I can't let you take too many of those punches. I'm going to stop the fight. Then Xander's coach tells Xander, listen, I'm going to give you one more round. If you can't do nothing, Xander, yo te voy a parar la pelea. I'm going to stop the fight. So when Xander got up and he got knocked down, he went to the knee and Harvey Doc started counting one like this. And Xander was at the knee. Xander looked. Harvey Doc turned around and Xander's coach went like this. And then the coach, the ref turned around, tapped him on the shoulder, and said, Xander, you're done. Then Xander looked at his coach and went, everybody took that when Xander was going like this, he was telling the referee he's done. Like if he quit, that's not what happened.
He's answering the code.
The coach waved the fight off.
He's
And the
following
coach,
instructions.
right. So, and then when Xander was on his knee, he was expecting to take the 8 count. When he got clawed, the fight got clawed. He just got caught in the. He wasn't quitting on his knee. He was waiting for the 8 count. The guy started counting. They notified the referee that the coach is waving it off. The ref turns around, looks, taps Xander on the shoulder, says, your night is over. I was there live. I saw him go like this, call the fight. The referee acknowledged him, tapped him on the shoulder. All Xander was doing was utilizing the 8 count like he did the first time he got knocked out and the second.
So
He
that
just
so you're
got
saying
caught.
that the problem with Xander, number one problem with Xander in this fight was that he couldn't read the punches. The guy's speed was tremendous. He couldn't see the punches coming. So that's what it was. Like there's no way to avoid that, right? He couldn't use distance, and that's why he had to fight aggressive, like he was doing to fight him off, even though he couldn't see the punches coming. That's how remarkable this man. You saw that live. You actually saw that raw.
Right. See, and that's the problem. There's the difference between forcing a renege out of because of jokes and facts. No mas is what Tim Zoo did. No mas is what and Subriel Matias did to 5 guys in a row. He made them quit on the stool. The difference between Xander, he didn't quit. His coach called the fight. They threw the towel in. They told him, if you get dropped again, I'm calling the fight. Go back and watch the audio. Actually, let's go back right now. I'm going to play it. We got to do this. Hold up. We got to do this. I'm not even set up here, but I'll just do it. I'll fucking, let's
Yo,
see.
that was hard to set up. Everything you had, that's your computer. You got that all set up in a computer. All
No,
that
I
stuff
got
right
this
there.
on a laptop, bro.
It took a while to set it up, right?
Man, it took a while, years to learn everything that I know right now. Nobody wants to teach you shit in this world. None,
Damn, man. I know
we,
this feeling
and
because
the,
I'm
and the,
trying to
the
learn this.
toughest thing is when they want to teach you shit, everybody's computer doesn't work the same way. You understand? So it's like they would have to actually be in my house to help me. So I was forced to learn all this shit myself. I had to sit there and study all the time, just keep studying. Okay, I want to just look at the knockdown, the last knockdown. I'm going to see if I fuck it. I'll just rewind it to that or something because I know they're going to copyright me. It doesn't matter. I don't care. We got to prove a point. We're going to do it right now, right here. Okay, so here, let me set it up over here. Hold on. I'm going to set it up over here. Get this going. It's already buffering. Of
What's the
course.
name of that company for free?
Huh?
No, hold on.
Hold
Consulting.
on a second.
I'm at work. That's why they're asking me a question.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's see if we
Hello?
can yeah. Yeah, you got me?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if I can get this shit to play. Okay, that fight was already over at that point. Okay. Right about here. Okay, let's check it out. For educational boxing purposes, we're taking a look at the Xander Zayas and Jerome Busenis last knockdown in closing seconds and what really happened in this situation. Okay, there's a lot of people that think that Xander Zayas quit because people like AB took to social media saying he quit, not knowing what happened because they weren't there. But thank God round one was there in attendance, section 17, C3. I was on the flat. Y'all see me on the camera when I was there at the fight. I recorded everything, and I've been. If you go back right now, you rewind it. I was showing everybody my footage, and you can go to my channel and see all the amazing footage I put out. So check it out. Here we go. This is what really happened. Right, right here. Boom. He goes down. Now watch the referee. He's looking at Xander, giving him count. 3, 4. He turns around. Up, you're done. You see?
Yeah.
He was counting, giving Xander the 8 count. Xander was taking the 8 count. He turned around, looked. He tapped him on the shoulder and notified him that your corner just threw in the towel.
Yep. The corner just and he took a lot of punishment because he couldn't
Look.
see the punches coming.
And what am I missing? Hold on. For all the people that want to crack joke, that want to go along with the bullshit, and that's the cancer that's in boxing. Now, these are the guys that think that they're being noble, truthful, but they're the same guys that fall for the same media tricks.
And it was beyond his control too, because his
You
corner is
see
telling him,
AB, Adrian Boner, quit. Bro, everybody ate that up. And not one of them was in attendance at the fight and really saw it, because I'm glad that I was there, that I got to see it and I saw what's going, because then on TV it could be misleading. That could be misleading. I thought that I might have just saw Xander quit. But I'm here to tell you that's not what happened. Let's take a look at it again. He's at 5 in his hand. Xander is taking the 8 count. Turns around, up, tap you on the shoulder, you're done.
"Yep, I believe it. I see right
Listen,
there."
look, wait. Okay, let's go here. Let's go here. Let's see what happens. Hold on. Check it out. First knockdown of the fight. Boom. Xander goes down. It's on his back. He gets up. He's looking 5, 6, 7, 8. It's up. His legs are gone. He was waiting for him to get at me. He utilized the standing 8 count. When he got knocked down in the last, he was looking at him, utilizing the 8 count. Look, same shit. He gets clipped, boom, goes back, boom, bam, got him. 3, 4. He's fuck. Yeah, all right, I got it. I saw my coach do that. And out of respect, once your team and your head coach calls the fight, what are you gonna do? Disrespect your head coach? Does Xander got to get up there? No, and contest it. Because the next thing they're gonna say is, well, he didn't contest when his coach. What? Once your coach says go like this, what do you think? You could re-talk the fight ongoing? Your coach just quit. The corner's gonna say, we don't want to hear that shit because you guys, that's it. So your coach said, I seen enough. But Xander, all he was doing, taking the count in, he knew what his coach told him the round before. Xander, if you go down again, I'm stopping the fight. What did the referee say to him? Matter of fact, let's go back into the corner and let's see if we can play that audio. I'm not sure if they show it here, but did they ever show any corner audio? Let's see. I'm looking for it. Give me a second. And they don't show no corner audio in that shit. Okay, let's go to the original fight. Maybe like the Top Rank shit. Them dudes, they'll show like the audio in between. Hold on. Let's see if we can get a corner. Little corner audio. When Xander, they're not really. Maybe it might be skipping over it. I don't know. I don't know, but I would like to see like one of those videos where I can just get the corner audio when the referee himself walks over and tells Xander's corner, "Show me something, Xander. I'm stopping his fight." And he was training on stopping the fight. So Xander knew if he went down again, his coach was gonna call the fight. He was upset. He was like, "Fuck, I went down." He looked. He was like, "All right, cool, man." And he respects his corner. He respects the coach. Xander was like, "The coach says it's over, then it's over." He's not gonna be a dick and be like, "Yo, coach, what the fuck are you doing?" Nah, Xander's a respectable. He knew it. He was like, "Fuck." Coach said he was gonna call the fight if something happened to me. He's gonna protect his fighter. He's a 23-year-old young man. You got at least 15 more years with him. Are you crazy? No me lo dañe. It's not like Xander was at the tail end of his career and you said, let him go out on his shield. You weren't at that point in your career yet. You don't need to take no kind of beating like that this early in your career. So, yeah, shout out to Javi Centennial for caring about his fighter's future. He didn't feel that Xander was going to turn this fight around. He was getting hurt more, in fact, and he decided, you know what? I'm the captain of this ship. And what I say, Xander, I'm telling you, I'm stopping this fight. What happens to the coach or trainer that wishes he would have stopped the fight before something fatal happened to their fighter? What about the coach that never stepped in for his fighter? Well, Harvey loves his fighter. He's seen enough. We will live to fight another day. Bottom line, you're outclassed, you're outgunned, you're not on his level, son. You wanted to find out, fucked around and found out. Here you go, Xander. Xander lost, took it on the chin like a man. On to the next. We've been sitting here, and thank you for my man that just stopped by here to talk boxing with me. He had a lot of great, valid points. And a lot he presented. What did he brought the question? What would you like to see Xander do? Rematch or move up? I chose move up. He chose rematch, and there are a lot of people that feel the same way, like both of us. There are Puerto Ricans out there that want that rematch, bro, right away. There are a lot of people that think like me, and my friend here came up, and he brings these interesting topics and scenarios to you guys so we can break it down. And there's a lot of great boxing talk, man, Suleiman. And I think that you know, it's on to the next for Xander, no matter what he chooses to do. But thank you for bringing up these boxing points and topics and
Are you gonna be
deep
done now?
insight.
You continue? You gonna continue?
No, 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 no. We're on to the next conversation.
Oh, okay, okay.
Let's talk about the rest of the card, though.
The Juan Manita Lopez was good. That was a good fight. The Juan Manita Lopez. I could see Vargas. They're setting up for world title fight. He won. He won the fight. Um, it was a pretty good event, man. It was a pretty good event. I got no complaints with it. People were saying it was a little pricey. You actually was there. What do you think about the event?
I liked the event. I think that the atmosphere in the Barclay Friends Center, the event was a little pricey. A little pricey. I got some great seats, and but I had a great, wonderful time. I met a lot of fighters and boxers and fans. A lot of guys from round one and TBV community, and a lot of people recognize me. Shit, people even stop and ask to take pictures with me. I was like, oh shit, round one, I'm kind of a big thing. You know what I'm saying? It was just a great atmosphere. The energy was cool and everything, and the fights didn't let us down. When I saw Ben Whitaker knock out Popeye, I saw the Vargas kid beat up Bryce Miller. The Yuri fight was interesting. Although it went the distance, it didn't give us the knockouts because like we were getting spoiled. It was like knockout after knockout. Juanita got his knockout, then it was just the knockout just kept coming. So, as far for for the fight card itself was supposed to be a mediocre fight card when you saw the names and list of people. Shout out to all the fighters that went in there and took care of business. They proved otherwise. They said this fight card might not have the flashiest of names, but boy, were their knockouts just popping off. So the card itself hold its weight as a fight card. That much I can say, because they weren't like this huge three titles, belts on the line. No, like the co-main event would have been a title shot, like these Turkey Ali Sheik cards. No, it wasn't something like that. But that card, I can say, held its weight, and it kept the fans engaged. It's not like we were watching boring fight after boring fight to that fight to pass. It was okay. It was okay, and I got my money's worth. I can say that. I got my money's worth for as much money I was paid for that seat. I got my money's worth. And I was glad that I can say that I was there. I would have liked it the victory, of course. I met Xander Zayas, and he signed my hat. I got an autograph from Xander Zayas. So,
Oh,
yeah, I met Juanita's father. Like I said at the beginning of this video, the best part of my experience was meeting Fernando Vargas because he was in my era. That's a guy I grew up watching, and he fought my guy, Felix Trinidad. When the father came out, bro, I was like,
yo,
oh
give me a
shit.
second, my brother. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Yeah, 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 go ahead. I was like, look at Fernando Vargas, man. I was like, oh shit. And meeting him, you know, that was cool. That was cool. The son, that dude, he's got charisma, style. He's definitely like um he's got the goods, the son. You know what I'm saying? Um so he looks like the son, if I had to describe him, right? He looks like a Mexican young version of Elvis Presley. He really does. And that's a fucking compliment. That is a super compliment. Elvis in his younger days, bro, you wasn't pulling more women than Elvis. That dude was the shit in his era. Elvis, he was the king, bro. All the women diving, throwing themselves on the ground like, yo, that Vargas kid, yo, he's got that look that that he could be more like Ryan Garcia's got it, right? And it's like him and Ryan. I don't know which one pulled off the Mexican Superboy look better, right? But he looks like really, really like a young version of a young Elvis and shit. And that's flattering. Like that young man, he can have it all. He can have it all. And you can see, like, when you do good in life, right? For example, you find that you don't always have to explain yourself that you're doing good, that you got a better job, that you're in a better place in your life. If you allow yourself just to like
Yeah, I'm
just
back. I'm
walk,
back.
right? Yeah. And people look at you, they will be able to tell by the way you walk, by the way you carry yourself. You wouldn't have to explain yourself. You don't have to tell people you're doing better. We just, as humans, we just have a tendency of doing it, even when we're doing better. But I say keep it to yourself because you got to recognize whatever you let out of your mouth, you're releasing. So when you're doing good, don't bother telling anybody you're doing good. Just keep walking or just stand there. Don't explain what you're doing because they'll be able to see it. When I see Vargas He doesn't have to tell me he's different from his brothers. You can see it, can't you? His brothers are tatted from the neck up all the way down, gold chains, designer glasses. Does he do that? No. He's always in suits, ties, nice shirts, right? Not one tattoo on his body. Being the fact that both his brothers, that's the way they took. Look at the father, he's tatted up too. But him, when you can be like the youngest one, your older brothers, the younger one usually looks up to the older one. At a young age, he chose his own path. What does that say about his character? That although my dad, my brothers all got the chains, the things, the women, everything, he still figured out. That says a lot about his character. He doesn't fight like his brothers. He fights slightly different than his dad's style, but he has his dad's warrior spirit. He has a different approach to the game because of his dad's guidance. What they did to his dad's making sure they don't do to his son. So together they work as a great team. Yo, when I called for Fernando and the son heard, like, everybody thinks we're gonna be Emilio Vargas, like, right? I didn't say, yo, Fernando, the son pushed him, like, nudged him, and he had a huge smile on his face when we were saying his dad's name. The son was proud that his dad would still get recognized. He's like, yo, but they like talk to them, and the fact that Vargas doesn't care about the spotlight, he could be happy for his dad. He's not standing there saying, allowing the media to turn them on each other. You know how they do. Will you be ever be good, better than your father? Or would you ever do you live in your father's shadow? You know how they always try to turn the son against the father and shit? Vargas, he knows who he is. Yo, that dude, like, there's just a lot of subtleties about him, a lot of things and choices he made that he doesn't have to say it. And when you're doing good in life, that's how you gotta carry yourself. You don't always feel like, yeah, I got a new promotion or I got fuck all that. Don't explain yourself. They'll see it. If they notice you're gonna be living foul, you're gonna be looking foul, and it's gonna show. So that's important. Character is very important. Then his warrior spirit and what he does in the ring, puts the cherry on top. Like, damn, man, he's a real good role model for boxing. I think about the kids, the young men, the next generation. How this generation sets the tone for the next generation. It's very important, these things. And I like fighters like that. Abdullah Mason is one of my favorite fighters. The Abdullah Mason fathers, the five brothers, the way he has those young men, serious about it. And then you see the Keyshawn Davis, the Davis brothers. You see the difference. You see how Keyshawn is more Americanized, what I say. More bling bling, more shit talking than let's fight. You know, Abdullah Mason, I think, fought like 6 times in 1 year. He's a great fighter. So yeah, yeah. Okay, he's back. He's back here. Let me take this down now. Okay, I didn't want nothing crazy to be popping by. You're at work, all of a sudden some dude goes streaking by on your camera. I can't have that. I got to put up the boxing thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. What was besides did you see the entire card? Did you see just the main event, or did
Yeah,
you
it,
watch
it,
all
it
the
was a good
prelims?
fight, man. But I would have to been in live like you, man. I would have enjoyed that, man. But I
Ah,
didn't. I didn't know it. But I don't know. You probably spent a pretty penny for that fight. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I did. I saved up, and thank God that I got the round one. chat community. A lot of the money that they sent in went towards this event, and yeah, man, I've been real fortunate, that with all the money I get, I sometimes I don't go out to see every fight, and I just wait until one big mega fight that's close next to me, and I'll go to that fight or something. But one day, man, but you will never know, bro. I get signed by the zone or something, and they pay for all this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal, to get bigger and this and when I first started doing this, that was my ambition. Like, I never got to be a boxer because of my decision making, of course, and I'm not ashamed of that. And but it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Never. And I love boxing. I love combat sports, and this is what I chose to do. I want to be next to these fighters. I want to interview these fighters. This is my passion. This is not a hobby for me. This is what I do. At 51 was my last fight. Came up short, but at 51 with 2 months training, hey, fuck it, I went for it. I'm not scared to get on a plane with no coach by myself and fight in front of everybody against a guy I know nothing about. I did that. That's what I did. So I'm not fake about this. I'm true to this. I'm just older and I didn't, so I advocate for boxing and I want to push out boxing and talk to fight fans that have different insights about boxing and shit, and help teach me. Maybe I could learn something today, so I'm always looking to get better, and cover boxing and shit. And also give you something good to look at. You know what I'm saying? Nice little background and shit. I think I'm pretty creative. And all you guys, round one, super chats and shit, help pay for a lot of this. But I paid for a lot of it too. Like, I don't- YouTube pays 43 seconds of video or something, so but yeah, I invested my time and my money and my effort to making this happen. And this is what I choose to do. And I will never let anybody put me in a box and try to say that round one's this way or that I called one fight or picked one guy wrong to say, oh, pack it up. No more round one sports talk because he was wrong. And you ain't never been wrong in something or right. So move on to the next. Somebody said a bad comment about me. And so what? These comments are only as strong as I give them life. You can say whatever you want about me, but if I don't want to engage you or accept or give your comment life, I just keep it going. I'm not going to get everybody to like me. I'm not going to get everybody to agree with me. And I'm okay with that. I'm not afraid to be wrong. I'm not afraid to be corrected. I'm not afraid to learn. I'm not afraid to get better. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. No, man, I'm built for this shit. I'm built for it. A lot of people are not built for this. They can't take everything and getting up every day and coming up with a new story, a thumbnail, a fucking something to talk about when boxing's dead, when we don't got nothing to talk about, and have the support of the people, to have them to keep coming back and watch you.
Yeah,
Shit.
man. It's a
This
lot
shit
of
ain't,
work, man. It's a lot of
yeah,
work,
this shit ain't
and
easy.
then you like the work that you guys put. I think you guys are highly underpaid. You know what I'm saying? Like I see some of these guys, they always
Highly
bragging.
underpaid. My
Yeah,
paycheck is zero.
yeah. Because I see, I know because I
Nobody
be on
pays
these
me.
panels sometimes, and I'm not getting paid a thing. And I'm like, yo, man, they don't show no support. You know what I'm saying? They don't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys, they don't show no support. They make you feel like 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 what you don't know what you're talking about. I'm over here in your panel, helping your panel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Basically for free. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
want to get started, but the whole thing is I got to get more subscribers. I got to get more
Yeah.
subscribers to.
Yeah. And but to tell you the truth, don't ever get into it for the money because there's no money in this like that. The only
I
thing
like
that
the
goes,
boxing. I like the boxing thing, man.
yeah,
But
it's
even for
like
professional boxers, it's very difficult because, like, if you go to a gym, these guys, these trainers, they want a lot of money. Like, if you're like a white collar guy and you want to know
oh
how to
yeah,
box,
yeah, 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 yeah.
you
I
know what I'm
get
saying?
it like that. I see what you're saying. Yeah, but as the reality to this right here, so far in the position that I'm in, I'm not like a Ness. He really makes money on his channel and shit. And shout out to him. There are some channels that really like Showbiz. I remember the day I saw the episode where he quit his job and he announced he's gonna be streaming content full time because he makes enough money that he can survive off that. And that's the goal for me to like get somewhere like that, but it's not what drives me. I'm not in it for the money because to tell you the truth, the only reason why I'm pulling this shit off is because of my wife and like my supporters and the little bit of that I put into, but this is all me. I'm doing this. I pay for my hotel. I pay for my plane. I pay to get there. I pay for my ticket. They don't give me shit. I pay for all of this on my pocket. Everything you see on the wall, everything, and like, but but the support from the chats, bro, that couple $100 gets me cabs, food, maybe a poster, something like that. It
So
helps.
how you started? What you started putting your Zelle account? What you did? Like you, like for example, like I'll be watching the fights, and I like to watch old fights too. Because I like to look technique. Like you see what I was mentioning to, like Sugar Ray Leonard with the first fight. Why didn't Sugar Ray Leonard? I'm pretty sure they told Sugar Ray Leonard the same shit. Why you just don't move up to 154 and forget about fighting Duran? And he pushed for it.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
he. He
yeah.
so let's say if Xander wants to do something like that. Let's touch that. If
Okay,
Xander says, look,
okay.
everybody's saying the small move is to move to 160. But he said, no, I want to fight Ennis now. And if he pushes for it and trains
Okay,
and makes
okay.
an offer to Ennis right now and says, look, okay, I want to do a 4 month training camp, something like that, and makes the fight. What do you think
Okay.
about that?
All right, okay, okay. You said a lot right there. I'm not sure if you did, but one of the tips I would give to you right now when you're covering and broadcasting, making a channel, you gotta stay on one thing. You started the conversation and said, "Well, how did you start that? Did you put a Zelle account and then you went right into boxing?"
Okay, okay.
So you gotta be like you gotta
Okay, I'm sorry about
recognize
that, man. I'm
you
sorry
gotta
about that.
recognize when you're yeah, yeah, no, but this is a compliment. This is I'm getting one brother helping out another. I hope you can take constructive criticism and not take that in any shade or anything in a world that we live that anytime you try to help somebody out, oh, he put you down or something. No. I'm just pointing that out for you because it's important. So your first thing was that I put up account so that no, first you got to get monetized by YouTube. You're gonna have to put in your time. YouTube will not let you make a single penny until you prove a little longevity. You gotta give 1,000 hours of watch time. And then you have to put in like so you got to meet these qualifications before YouTube makes a contract with you and says, "Okay, we're going to let you stream ads on your content." At the beginning of everybody's content, what I didn't know is with the take advantage period when you're not being monetized. You can play all the fights, everything, and they don't copyright you because you're not making money on it. The minute you can make money on it, now you can't play the fights. That's why a lot of those channels you see them, you say, how is it that they get away with it playing the fights? That's that period where you can do all that shit until you get monetized. Once you get monetized, you get copyright because now you got your channel copyrighted to you. So you got to get to that point first. Not from day one, you start. It doesn't work that way. Then after you do all of that, you can put in like your Cash App or your time so that YouTube pays you on the 22nd of every month. So you get paid once a month from YouTube. It's not like you get the money right away. Somebody puts $50 in the super chat. You don't see that $50 until the 22nd of every month. But if they put it in your Cash App, that's why people put Cash App at the bottom. It goes directly to me like that. You understand? So there's things you gotta understand and things you got to, start be familiar. But I'm never scared to help out another fellow content creator. The one thing I realized in this game was you can never be me and I can never be you.
Yeah, there's
You
a guy
understand?
Rap Stars. Rap Stars. He boxing knowledge. He considered himself round one too. I'm saying, yo, dude, there's another guy with a panel that he be in the boxing voice, and he got his own show. His name is Round One. He said, no, that's my name. Yeah, I don't know if you met him. If you guys,
Yeah, I met him. I met him. We met a couple of times and shit. Yeah.
yeah, he says that
He
his name is Round One, and he was
Yeah,
like,
I know.
oh,
He paid for a lot of his subscribers. He went under that thing where he got all those high subscribers. And when I first met him, I had more subscribers than him, but he doesn't do lives and stuff. And he doesn't have content like me. Like I said, like I just said to you, you could steal my name. You can come up to my show. You could think you come up here to try to get, recognition in your face. If people are gonna go to you, I couldn't stop that because that means that you're interesting. That means that they want to hear what you have to say. And I will support that because I will always be me. And to all my subscribers that ever came across me or subscribed to my channel, they did because of me. Because they saw me on TBV and they found me interesting. They said, man, I like this dude. And they went to my channel, they subscribed. So all my subscribers are boxing subscribers. You see, and I'm not afraid of that. I will build myself up gradually. I'll put in my time, whatever happens. Some people get it faster, some people take slower time. But I'm perfecting my craft. And you gotta give to this. You gotta make content, you gotta give, you gotta be on your shit. And boy, I'm telling you, in the last few years, I've learned more. I went into learning about a laptop and I didn't even know how to turn it on. That's how I started. All I knew, my cell phone, I could work that. I wasn't electronically fucking gifted. I don't know how to edit, none of that. I had, man, a lot of headaches, a lot of long nights, a lot of deleting shit, a lot of deleting files that I had, fucking making mistakes, fucking with the audio, having great show, but bad audio, kicking myself in the ass, being frustrated, wanting to quit. Fucking, I went through every emotion in the fucking Rolodex to pull this off. And every day I get criticism, talk shit, say this, you don't know this and that. And I turn on the camera the next day. I get jumped on the boxing voice, fucking by 4 or 5 panelists, fucking people. Don't care. Man, they're bombing and comments, shit, fucking pulling back. And
yeah,
I'm
like I know it's like a lot of guys they don't understand. Like for example, like when you was correcting me, right? You was telling me about the you actually saw the fight. At first, I didn't know you did that, right? So you
yeah,
telling me, look, like I can notice that Boots was faster because I'm watching the thing on TV, right? On the TV, right? So I'm watching the thing. I know the guy's faster. That's why the guy was responding like that because the guy was much faster, and so he couldn't probably read the punches or adjust to the speed. So he was forced to fight, right? So
yeah.
so he caught the guy with a right shot. So people were saying, "Oh, he messed up the game plan and all this thing, and oh, Xander's not that good. I thought Xander was this." But then when Xander caught him with that shot, then people were saying, "Oh, but he only has 54% punch knockout ratio." But all he needed was one or two more shots, and he probably would have stopped Boots. You know what I'm saying? So Boots' speed and advantage, it only got him to a certain point. There, you could see the kid's world class. You could see Xander's world class. We both agree on that, right? So, like after that being said, you saying to me that, oh, I think he should go to 160. I didn't look at it like that. Like it's true. Like he could do record. He could go on the record books by going to 160. But I'm saying like
Right.
if you want to be like Durant, you could just run it back. But it could be like I'm looking at one sided. Like you telling me if it was Boots, he's going to probably try to stop him faster. know what I'm saying? Because he's going to improve too. So, it's good that I get to hear a point of view from a person that actually watched the fight live. Because
Yeah.
I was watching only on TV, and you like for example the thing that you showed me, like, oh, that he's following the instructions of his trainer. His trainer said
Yeah.
no. So that, if I would have watched on the
They
camera, I
didn't
would even,
show that on TV, and you would get a bad impression, and you didn't know
yeah.
what was going on.
So like,
And I'm
that's good
glad
that
that,
I
yeah,
got to hear it
yeah.
from
Thank
you,
you,
and
thank you,
you know
thank you, thank you.
because
Yes,
another guy would have been like, oh, what the hell, what's going on here? Why is
yeah.
this
They
like
would have
that?
thought he quit. Yeah,
You know, what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, people don't know that. Like, I had to listen to a person, and you have to be open minded. You know what I'm saying? Because look at that, you got to watch the fight, and you spend probably a pretty penny. And me, regardless how you got the money, how you achieved the goal, but you went there and you saw people live, that it would be an honor for me to be like a guy like Xander, or Boots or something. Because people say Boots looks bigger than on TV, right? When you saw him live,
uh,
he's muscle
yeah, yeah,
bound.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, listen. I'll do it again for you real quick, right here. Look, look, real quick, real quick. Look at the thing. That's me watching O'Shaughnessy Foster come in through the metal detector right there. That's a video of it. This is the Xander the fight where I recorded Xander going down right here. Let's get to some other film. There's a lot of the fights. That's probably one of the other fights I
You
recorded.
shared that with Nesta?
No, no, no. I didn't get a chance. That's me talking to Michaela Mayer, interviewing Michaela Mayer right there. I was talking. She's tall. Look at her. Yeah.
Hey,
And
what
then
you
and
think
then
about Clarissa Shields going down to 160? What's this thing that she's moving down now? Why is she
okay,
doing that?
hold on, because she can't get the fight. Look at that's Punch Drunk and Joe Broadway Joel. I talked to both of them. We had a little thing there. Then like let's go over here. Let's see. Where am I? Where am I? Okay, that's me, Oshaki Foster, right there. That's him coming in the metal detector.
That's a real good
That's
boxer too.
Showbiz the adult. You know the Showbiz that he has another podcast. And let's see what if I got any. I got a whole bunch of pictures. Oh yeah, and then these are other content creators, Sean Zattel. And then like okay, let's get to the boxers. Oh, that's Ed Hearn. That's when I got the autograph from I mean, sorry, from Subir, from Xander Zayas when I got my hat signed. That's when I got my hat signed. Uh, that's right there. Okay, okay, okay. Here, that's my brother with Jerome Tennis. I was the one videotaping it. That's Jerome Tennis. Then that's the Xander on stage. This is behind. That's me and Vargas, Emilio Vargas. This is Emilio Vargas still. That's Popeye that got knocked out by Ben Whitaker. That's the Cedeno brother. That's the father right there, me and the father. Fernando Vargas right there. Bam.
And he was a two, I think a two-time champion, right?
Yeah, yeah, two division. And that's the next Puerto Rican champion right there. Uh, so yeah, my that's Juanita Lopez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Juan Manita Lopez. His
yes,
dad was a
and then
monster, bro. At one time when his dad was on top, bro, his dad was no joke, bro. His dad was
yeah, I
his dad
interviewed his father. I
his
interviewed
dad
his
was doing
father.
spectacular things, bro. People forget, but that man was doing spectacular shit. He was concussing daylights out of people. But people tend,
Yeah,
they tend to forget that. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
Tend to forget that.
I got to get my brother to send me it because it was on his phone when he interviewed me, talking to Juanita Lopez's father. So I got to get that thing. But yeah, listen, look, I'm gonna be wrapping up this show. So let me close this up. Let me say goodbye to you before I go into my monologuing. I want to thank you for coming
Yeah, I
by
appreciate it, my
and
brother. Hey,
talking
man, thank you for
boxing.
giving me the opportunity to be in your show, bro. It'd be a
Yes,
pleasure anytime, bro.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yo, you're welcome here anytime, brother. Always a pleasure, to talk boxing. And thank you for stopping by.
Yo, thank you very much, sir. It was a pleasure, sir.
Thank you. All right, brother. Man, listen, guys. Amazing boxing talk. Um, so let's let's cover a few things before we end this live stream. I saw some of you guys' messages and texts in there. What happened with me and Ness on the Boxing Voice? Truthfully, I just think that it's a break in communication. I also think that part of that is my fault, right? And the reason why I noticed that, right, is because I just think that Ness knows about, or that the TBV community would have let Ness know, or they would have spoke up for me and said, "Nah, Ness, round one has always said that he was picking Xander because of this." He explained about the three belt situation, and that I just thought that Ness knew this, right? So when Ness caught me off guard and called me a liar, he said, "Look at this guy trying to make it up like he's only picking Xander for this." That's why I was so thrown off, because I have so many videos months ago saying, I don't do this. I don't bet with my heart. But on this particular fight for this guy right here, just Xander, I'm going with him on this one. I'm showing support. I'm rocking with the Puerto Ricans in this one. Just Xander, because he proved it to me. He deserves that. He earned that from me. So I thought Ness knew that. But Ness is trying to call me biased in all aspects of Puerto Rican boxing, no matter who it is. Then he tried to shame me in thinking that having my flag was being what, borderline racist? I don't know where he was going with that. That I added the racist part because when you tell someone, look at you walking around with your flag covering the fight, you're who told you I was covering the fight, Ness? When I have text messages with you and I'm asking you for credentials, you knew I didn't have credentials. If I'm asking you for credentials to help me, but you question me on my inexperience to cover the fight for your channel, I never got credentials. I went on your show and I said I watched the guys, how they're doing it, what I need, what equipment, things like that. But I did pretty good on my own. I went on my channel. I'm going there as a fan. I bought a ticket. I just thought, Ness, me asking you for credentials and then you bashing me about having credentials, being there covering why are you doing this? I was lost. He went into a whole monologue and explained, did you see any of the other guys covering the fight with a flag on, Edwin? And you're saying that you're not, you articulated how unprofessional I was covering a fight that you knew I had no credentials to, that I was honest about it on your show. And I said that. But you went into a whole story of how that makes me not a professional in a fake scenario. I was never covering the fight. I went there as a fan. I did the best I could with my cell phone. What part of that didn't you understand? I had my flag, I was showing my pride, and try to shame me into saying because I wear my flag, now anything I have to say about boxing is bias. That's what he's doing. You understand? And that threw me off. I thought I was TBV. I thought I was cool with y'all. And you just discredit me because I picked a guy in a fight? If a black American guy picks a fighter to show support, goes, I'm going with the black guy because he's my people. I don't know how many times you heard, I don't know nothing about that guy. this guy is gonna fight, but I'm going with my guy. That's support. Why can't I do that? How many times have you heard guys call up? I don't know nothing about the guy he's fighting, but I'm taking my guy. At least I know about the guy. Like that whole shit with Ness really took me back. He tried to tell the world that I was biased, that I was a liar. Look at this guy lying about the fact that he, like, in 3 hours and 9 minutes, and the timestamp on his videos when he calls me a liar. Look at my reaction on my face. I'm lost. Where have I ever lied about this? And I think where my mistake lies is Ness don't give two shits about my channel. That proves he doesn't watch my channel. He doesn't know where I stand because everything on his channel is new for him from me. He blatantly called me a liar on one of the biggest boxing platforms in the world. He discredited all my everything I did in the fight. At least I went to his show and I shared with him and everybody everything that I experienced. Marco comes on and he's there like this. Hey guys, yeah, I was at the fight. I was the one. Go watch the video. Hey, Marcos, what about your experience? I'm getting him to open up. Hey, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I seen round one there. Blah, 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 this and that. And blah, blah. Bro, he covered the fight. He had credentials. And he brought back to the boxing voice what? What videos did he send Ness? What videos or what did he talk about? Who did he meet? What did he do? What did he say? And why did he say the little bit that he said? I was taken back so far. I didn't understand it a little bit, but today I understand it. First of all, brother, we grown as men. I'm not gonna sit there and let you yell at me like that. Ain't gonna be too many yellings like that. I understand what I'm doing. I take the good with the bad because I like to talk to some of the biggest trainers and boxers, and Ness provides that, right? But there's a certain point where you're just like, fuck this shit. Like, seriously, like, nah, we ain't gonna be too many of them. No, we're not. And it's like, it's not being worth it. Now I see why, like, Star ain't been back. Like, a lot of these people leave and shit. It's because at some point he turned on you. Bro, what did I say so bad but just supporting Xander? Why did he have to harp on it like that? Yo, he lost, he crashed out. But this motherfucker, blah, 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 yo, he's crashing out over a flag, over me picking a guy. And then he tried to shame me and saying that I'm the only person in the world that thinks Amanda Serrano is the GOAT over Clarissa Shields, that I'm delusional. I'm the only person that thinks that. And that's a fact. That's what he said out of his mouth on his show. We stamped that. Well said coming from a Dominican. Fuck out of here, bro. You're crazy. I will never let him shame me in being prideful. And what he did was distasteful. He tried to get you to convince you to be shameful for being pride. Wait until you have your American flag and somebody tells you to do that. Just wait. That what you're doing is because you're biased, because you're picking your side, your flag. And even if you tell them that's exactly what I'm doing, Why the fuck are you tweaking out on that? Isn't that my choice? Don't I have the right to do that? And you're trying to make it seem like what? What was your end game? What was your plan? To shame me for being a Puerto Rican? And because of that, now I don't know about boxing. You never actually beat me in like the sense of arguing boxing facts. You shame me because I'm biased over my race and being proud of who I was born. Now, because of that, I don't know boxing. And also, I'm a liar. Then another caller called in and says, "No, round one. I've seen your videos. You've been saying this since the beginning." Did I ever get an apology out of him? No. But he's quick to call you a liar. And then more than once, I corrected him and he said, "Oh, I misunderstood you." Or "I didn't catch when you said this." See, that's where I think the break happens with me and Ness. We have two different shows. Ness is going on in his show, and I'm going on mine, and I'm assuming he's caught up with me. So when I start talking off of what I've already said, then Ness is like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 round one." That's what's happening. And I think that that's what's happening. That's where the frustration comes out. Because I was transparent about this. I don't know how. I literally said, "Do not follow me on this right here. This is for pride and country." And then I get bashed for it, for being truthful. Well, would you rather me lie? I was telling the truth and I was called a liar. How would you feel? How would you feel? So, fight fans, listen, it is what it is. I just think it's a break in communication. I think, you know, I like the boxing voice. I like all the dudes up there. They give me shit all the time, same shit talkers every day. Round one, shut the fuck up. Yo, kick him off the panel. Blah, 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 blah. But Ness did back me up. One dude was like, "Now pay you 150 to kick him off." Ness was like, "Nope." He sees I'm still good for the show. That's like, I think we had a break in communication because I was like thrown back. Dude, I fucking asked you for credentials. I asked you for help. You knew I didn't have it, and then you went into a monologue about me wearing my flag and how unprofessional that was. I didn't know what to think. Yo, I was fucking lost. Yo, I felt like it was just straight hate at that point. He was just trying to discredit me. A lot of roll of emotions were going through my head. Like, this dude is fucking setting me up. Like, he's just trying to bash my name. Like, him and the other round one guy got together and was like, "Let's take out the real round one." That fucker, that other round one. I don't know. I guess him and Ness are in cahoots behind the scene. I don't. Yo, that shit was so baffling. It was, man. I literally came to your show to share content with my experience, and he bashed my experience on his show for bringing him content, for sharing it, my experience with the other TBV community. That's what happened. How would you feel if you went you took the money out of your pocket? No one paid for my hotel room. Nobody paid for my ride. Nobody paid for my ticket. It all came out of my pocket. And when I asked you for help for credentials, you never got back to me. So I went out to the fight. I understand that it was a very short notice. Shit, I only gave him like 4 or 5 days heads up. So it was kind of fucked up. I fucked up. So I'm not sure Ness could have did it for me. So I'm not gonna say like, or maybe he forgot. He's a busy man. And maybe I needed to hit him back up, right? Whatever it was. He didn't help me with the credentials, bottom line. But you knew I didn't have any. I don't know. Is he fucking bashing me? Does he not want me on the channel? Could I stop going? Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't want to sit there and get yelled at. I'm gonna snap eventually. Eventually, I'm gonna snap. I'll be cool. I'll be keeping my cool and shit. But listen, trust me, guys. I don't have to prove I ain't no bitch. I'm a grown ass man. I've been there when I was young. I would have snapped a long time ago. I know exactly who I am. You think I'm sitting there, oh, round one, they yelling at you or what? That's not being a bitch. Is that dude in front of me? Or are we behind a microphone? Are you gonna act tough behind a camera and a mic? Are you gonna jump out of character for that? So I just sit there. You're not in front of me. There's no need to, yo, what's up, man? Get the fuck out of here, bro. No need for that. Come on. But I'll snap, and I gotta control that shit. I don't like that part of me like that. I don't like doing that. It makes me look a little silly. It makes me feel silly anyway. I don't like that shit. I don't like when you're not in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Talk that right in front of me. Go ahead. Wish you the best of luck. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to like say like I fight everybody or I'm saying fight Ness or anything. No, I ain't saying anything like that, right? I'm just saying like in general, you know. But Ness, sometimes I think he hears what he want to hear. Like when the Spanish dude called up, Ness is so amped and saying that I don't let view the person's opinion. I went back and I watched it and I was right. The guy never knew that the corner stopped the fight and he didn't hear our fucking take. When the guy found out that I told him that the corner stopped the fight and Ness went on a spill about the guys giving his point about how he feels he quit. Ness was under the impression that the guy knew the corner stopped the fight, but he didn't contest it, so that means he quit. I knew the way Ness was explaining, but I was trying to tell Ness that guy didn't say that. The guy's whole take was that Xander quit and gave monologue and situations about great Puerto Rican fighters that didn't quit. He had no idea that the corner stopped the fight, that caller. Then when the caller himself probably went back, checked it, the dude had the nerve to come back on the show and try to clean it up. And although Ness kept jumping in, trying to cheerlead from him and break it up, a Dominican dude trying to fucking shit on Puerto Ricans, I see what it is, right? So, so even though he was trying to do that, this Puerto Rican right here that called in was uninformed. Because you could tell he watches them black shows where they show fucking like Adrian Broner yelling, oh, he quit. So this Puerto Rican dude came up not knowing no facts. He called in the second time and he tried to say, now I see that Xander didn't quit. His corner called the fight and round one, this, that. And I said, did you call up the second time? And you flipped it. Because your first call was that Xander was a quitter in your eyes. Now you called and said, no, the coach called the fight and he tried to clean it up. Bro, and I called him on the second call. But Ness, he wasn't catching on. And since he was so hyper focused on shooting down whatever I said, I mean, at that moment, you got to ask yourself, whose side are you on? Why do you even waste your time and give your time to like, for what? You know, all right, cool. Maybe you don't like me anymore. Maybe I should just stop coming on for a little while or something. Bro, one dude spoke up for me in the chat and that's banned them for a week. What do you think the rest of the chat was going to do? They weren't going to say shit in my defense. He runs that chat with an iron fist. Apparently, you can't come to the defense to any of the guests because he got a week timed out for sharing an opinion about me. Do you think anybody else in the chat was going to say anything positive? They would have got kicked off. To the subscription, they got to pay for. It's the only way you can put a chat, you got to be a member. So you're paying a membership to a channel that you can't say nothing good going against Ness because the owner of the channel will kick you off. I don't know. And all I've said was the truth. Did not that not happen? And was it because he spoke up for me? Where did I go wrong here? You see? I'm just starting to think he doesn't want me around. All right, I get it. I see. All right. Cool. Cool then. I don't know what I did wrong. I like going on the show. Have a great time. I get shit by the chat all the time. Yo, did they be saying? And I'm still cool with all that. I don't mind going on, man. But I think that I'm starting to feel like he doesn't want me to be on. So, if you start getting that vibe like they don't want you around and shit, just don't go around, bro. Don't subject yourself to that. If every time you come around, bro, he's like shooting down everything I say, trying to discredit me in every fucking angle, bro. You know what, man? All right, cool, bro. It was fun while it lasted. Man, I had a blast. Um, I ain't got nothing bad to say about the man, you know. It's just one show. We had a but actually it's not becoming one show. It's like becoming every show now. Every time I get on, he's starting to go into these tirades, yelling at me and shit. And I'm cool. I'm 52 years old. I don't need to be yelled at like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm good. And that's it. So if you don't see me on, you know what I'm saying, shit like that, it's just I don't think he wants me there. I don't think he likes me to be on, man. So it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I'm still gonna do me. Still gonna do me, and thank you for the opportunity. That's all. That's all. So, fight fans, just wanted to clear that up, just in case you got some shit to like. You guys, got to see the video, or if you saw it in entirety. If you were confused in anything, if you were confused watching it, boy, I was confused, man. Every day people call up, voicing their support, and people come out. The guy from the UK, he's like, I'm straight up biased. Like, and for you to be attacked for what you admit you are, like in that certain situation. Like I admitted this, and he still found the. It was just bad, bad, bad. Anyway, fight fans, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to give these videos a like, and like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports TV. Peace.